This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Indicted Bahamians charged as a U.S. indictment unsealed, accused in mass drug operations. This is big. The F&M claiming they support the death penalty. And more shocking details about the death of a 72-year-old grandmother. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. It's a new day. Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, we are going to get details about the St. Barnabas Fair and Raffle that's set for Saturday. And later in Business, a special edition of Business, we are talking more about the 16 days of activism, one local group doing some big things. They're going to tell us all about that. And a whole lot more, a lot of business news to talk about this morning. That's straight ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, 11 Bahamians, 11, including a senior police officer, a police sergeant, and a defense force officer, and 2 Colombians have been charged with conspiracy to import cocaine into the United States, possession and use of firearms, and firearms conspiracy. That's according to an indictment filed in New York. The indictment, which was unsealed yesterday, names Chief Superintendent Elvis Curtis, officer in charge of the Airport Division, Royal Bahamas Police Force Sergeant Prince Albert Simonet, who works closely with Curtis, and Royal Bahamas Defence Force Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker as conspirators who helped facilitate the transshipment of tons of cocaine from South America through the Bahamas and ultimately into the United States. In a statement last night, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez said that Curtis and Roker were arrested in Florida yesterday and will be transported to federal courts in New York for trial. He said Simonet, a pensioner of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, has been suspended from duty effective immediately. Police officers and government officials undermined the work and progress of Operation Bahamas Turks and Caicos, OPBAT, which was launched in 1982 to police drug trafficking operations in the southern Bahamas. The indictment states that the increase in cocaine flow through the Bahamas has been a direct result of drug-fueled corruption that has infected various Bahamian institutions. More specifically, since at least in or about May 2021, according to this statement, corrupt high-ranking members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and other Bahamian government officials have worked with Colombian and Bahamian drug traffickers to facilitate the receipt, protection, and safe passage of massive cocaine shipments through the airports and ports of the Bahamas. The indictment alleges that Curtis, who supervises airport locations throughout the country, including Lynden Pindling International Airport, abused his position in exchange for cocaine-fueled bribes from drug traffickers and their confederates. It also alleges that Curtis helped to facilitate the transportation of narcotics and drug trafficking proceeds by, among other things, providing safe passage for the traffickers and their cocaine loads through Nassau Airport and elsewhere in the Bahamas. That in or about September 2024, Curtis told a trafficker that, quote, in exchange for $2 million, a high-ranking Bahamian politician whom Curtis named would authorize the assistance and involvement of Bahamian law enforcement officials, including the Royal Bahamas Police Force officers, in facilitating cocaine shipments. There's a whole lot more on this in today's NASA Guardian, and we will talk more about it in just a bit. In other news, FNM leader Michael Pintard says the party supports the enforcement of the death penalty. Pintard at a press conference saying, quote, we are very clear this is a straightforward issue for us. Capital punishment is on our books. We don't try to serve people some fallacy that all crime stops after it's carried out. But we do say clearly and simply, we support capital punishment for the role that it plays as a deterrent as well as punishment. We believe wherever the executive and the parliament can make adjustments within our laws to make this process more efficient, that they ought to act. They ought not to vacillate. Well, the death penalty debate has been reignited in some circles following the brutal murders of 12-year-old Adriel Moxie and 72-year-old Renencia Butler. Pintard was asked if he believes in rehabilitation for individuals who commit gruesome crimes. He said he supports the sentencing guidelines and intend to work from the executive standpoint with other stakeholders in coming up with the most appropriate sentencing guidelines. We have more details on the death of Renencia Butler. The 72-year-old was strangled to death and was sexually assaulted. Butler was killed after a man broke into her home on Ross Corner before 3 a.m. on Saturday. Police say an autopsy also reveals she suffered internal injuries. A 25-year-old man of Boat Alley was arrested in connection with the murder. Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez said the man, who was released from prison in March, was observed on surveillance footage loitering outside near Butler's home. Fernandez says the man, who was shirtless and wearing no shoes, appeared to be using drugs. Butler was attacked just hours after she celebrated her sister's 75th birthday with family, according to her nephew, Sherwin Johnson. And there's been a 17% reduction in public school violence this year, according to Assistant Commissioner of Police Chaswell Hanna. He says the incidents they see now at the schools, they have maybe 1 or 2 cases of fistfights. Hanna was asked by a reporter to respond to reports of bullying at a local government school. The Ministry of Education launched the SRO program, the School Resource Officer Program, in 2022. It aimed to improve safety at public schools. The program has been expanded since then. And the number of people over the age of 3 attending school full-time increased by 8% over a 12-year period. This is according to the 2022 census. Some data from the latest census released by officials last month, however, the full report has recently been made public. In 2010, when the previous census was conducted, the number of people in school full-time was 92,598. That figure grew to 99,965 in 2022. Overseas, a ceasefire between Israel and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah appears to be holding as residents in cars heaped with belongings streamed back toward southern Lebanon, despite warnings from the Israeli and Lebanese military that they should stay away from certain areas. If the ceasefire holds, it would bring an end to nearly 14 months of fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. As the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah appears to hold in Lebanon, fighting raged on in the Gaza Strip, though. The Gaza bodies had been brought to hospitals over the past 24 hours, raising the death toll in the nearly 14-month-long war to 44,282. The Ministry of Health does not distinguish between civilians and some combatants in its count, but it says more than half of the dead are women and children. The Israeli military said it struck dozens of Hamas sites in Gaza, including weapons storage facilities and military structures. It said it warned civilians to evacuate the area beforehand. The military has battled for weeks a resurgence of Hamas in the area, which was an early target of Israel's offensive. Canadian officials blasting President-elect Donald Trump of the U.S. and his threat to impose sweeping tariffs as the leader of the country's most populous province called Trump's comparison of Canada to Mexico, quote, the most insulting thing I've ever heard. Trump has threatened to impose tariffs on products from Canada, Mexico, and China as soon as he takes office in January as part of efforts to crack down on illegal immigration and drugs. He said he would impose a 25% tax on all products entering the U.S. from Canada and Mexico as one of his first executive orders. Well, the Ontario Premier Doug Ford said, quote, "Mexico is the most insulting thing I've ever heard from our friends and closest allies, the United States of America. I found his comments unfair. I found them insulting. It's like a family member stabbing you right in the heart." Ford said Canada will have no choice but to retaliate. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will convene an emergency meeting with provincial leaders Wednesday. The Canadian dollar weakened sharply in foreign exchange markets. And Colombia's President Gustavo Petro saying that his country will impose visa requirements on British citizens in retaliation for a decision made by the United Kingdom to remove Colombia from a list of countries whose nationals can visit Britain without a tourist visa. In a message published on X, formerly Twitter, Petro said that due to the, quote, principle of reciprocity, Colombia's government will begin asking citizens of the UK for visas. He provided no more details on when the visa restrictions will come into effect. Earlier on Tuesday, the United Kingdom announced that Colombian citizens will no longer be able to travel to that country on its social media platforms. The British Embassy in Colombia said that over the past 2 years, there had been a significant increase in the number of Colombians who arrive at UK airports and make unjustified asylum claims. And 5 people fatally shot in Jamaica, marking the latest mass shooting on the small island. Local media reported that the shooting late Monday occurred in the southeastern parish of St. Andrew, where the capital of Kingston is located. No one has been arrested as yet. It wasn't immediately clear what led to the shooting. Jamaica has seen a recent increase in mass shootings, including one where 5 men were killed at a soccer game in late October in a neighborhood that once struggled with gang violence. While Jamaica has one of the world's highest homicide rates among countries with reliable statistics, 53.3 per 100,000 people, killings are down so far this year compared to last year. As of November 23rd, 1,039 people were reported killed, down from 1,262 reported last year. A record 1,083 homicides were reported in 2009 on the island of 2.8 million people. Much of the violence in Jamaica and elsewhere in the Caribbean is blamed on guns illegally smuggled from the United States. In sports, in the FIBA AmeriCup Nicaragua 2025 qualifiers, Team Bahamas faced a tough defeat against Team USA, losing 97-74 in Washington, D.C. The result places Team Bahamas at the bottom of the pool standings, intensifying the pressure to win in the upcoming February window to keep their qualification hopes alive. Team USA controlled the game from start to finish, but Team Bahamas showed resilience by cutting the lead to 7 points early in the third quarter. But again, a crushing defeat. More on that in today's Guardian Sports section. Champion Spirit, a global leader in high-performance wellness, sports, and fitness, founded by renowned athlete and world champion boxer Abdoulaye Fadiga, has announced an unprecedented evening of world-class boxing with the return of drama in Bahama, an historic fight night at Bahamar. It's set for December 14th The occasion marks the first World Championship fight in the Bahamas in over 43 years since the legendary bout between Muhammad Ali and Trevor Berbick back in 1980. So the new one is going to feature some of the top contenders in their respective divisions. Details, got to pick up today's Guardian Sports section. And the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture held its National Hall of Fame induction ceremony at Bahama Resort over the weekend. The ballroom and the ceremony, a key event in the ministry's National Youth Month. For more on what happened, take a look at today's Guardian Sports section. From the NFL, Aaron Rodgers is still contemplating whether he wants to play football next season. If he does return, he prefers that it be with the New York Jets. The star quarterback, who turns 41 next Monday, denied a recent report that he wants to keep playing next year, but not with the Jets. He denied that part. Rodgers saying during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show, quote, "I came here to win, and I'm not jumping off ship. I don't even know if I want to play yet, but New York would be my first option." The Athletic reported last week that Rodgers had already decided to play next season, but would not play for another team. He and the Jets have struggled to a 3-8 start, and owner Woody Johnson fired coach Robert Saleh last month and replaced him with defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich. He dismissed general manager Joe Douglas last Tuesday. And from Major League Baseball, less than a month after winning the World Series, the Los Angeles Dodgers are spending big money again to add more and add one of baseball's best pitchers to their star-studded roster. Blake Snell and the Dodgers agreed to a $182 million 5-year contract, according to a person with direct knowledge of the negotiations. That person speaking to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity Tuesday night because the deal is subject to a successful physical. The two-time Cy Young Award winner broke the news personally by posting a photo of himself on social media in a Dodgers uniform. Number 72's two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani and fellow Japanese right-hander Yoshinobu Yamamoto atop LA's rotation, giving the Dodgers the first mega deal of this offseason following Ohtani's $700 million 10-year contract and Yamamoto's $325 million 12-year deal last winter. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather for today. We've got the Bermuda High retreating eastwards into the Atlantic, and the surface trough that's been affecting us will slowly drift westwards and weaken across the northwest Bahamas by the end of the work week. That's going to result in slightly higher temperatures and a higher humidity and an increase in shower chances in a weak wind regime. A cold front is going to emerge off of Florida by early Saturday morning, and that's going to move southwards and before sailing into the central Bahamas throughout the day. A reinforcing front and building high pressure will nudge the front southwards by Sunday and into next week, ushering locally strong winds and seasonably cooler temperatures immediately after the frontal passage. Look for a quasi-stationary Bermuda high, as we've been telling you, and that dry air mass. Weather associated with the surface trough meandering across the islands will shift slightly east of the southern Bahamas by this afternoon. There remains a risk of flooding over portions of the southeast Bahamas, especially in areas already inundated with floodwaters from past rain events, and swimmers and beachgoers are advised to exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents impacting Atlantic exposures in the central and southeast Bahamas. For today, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, sunny, turning fair tonight, less than a 10% chance of showers. Winds northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, but gusty at times, increasing to 15 knots tonight. For the Central Islands, partly sunny today, turning mostly fair tonight. The southeast Bahamas still seeing a lot of rain. We've got cloudy to overcast conditions, 40 to 60% chance of showers with thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 knots, but gusty at times tonight. We are warming up. Temperatures today look for highs around 82, 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about West Bahamas, maybe into the 60s for the northern islands tonight. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and look at the tropics coming up in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of the
You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Thanksgiving has arrived early at Montague Motors. This whole month is Black November with deep discounts on selected models. Roll out this season in style. Montague Motors, trusted quality service for over 20 years. Zero down, everyone. Village Road near Shirley. 698-3950. 812-7576. Call Montague Motors now and get the best discounts the entire month of November.
It's the season of joy, unity, and celebration. Join us on Saturday, December 7th at the Government House grounds for The Inclusion. It's a Christmas holiday fair. Fun for the whole family, Jolly Wonderland Playground, bingo, domino tournaments, carnival games, and even the Santa vs. Grinch boxing match. At 6 p.m., the TNCs kicks off with live DJs like DJ Chris, DJ Humble, and more bringing the vibes. Enjoy native dishes, tree lighting, drama, and live performances celebrating free. So come and experience the magic of the season. Inclusion, moving towards an inclusive Bahamas.
This Black Friday, get ready for unbelievable savings at Connaught Bahamas for 2 days only. It's a 40% off Black Friday sale, November 24th and 25th. Top quality products, cabinetry, granite, tiles, windows, vinyl flooring, and so much more. Connaught Bahamas is 40% off Black Friday sale. 2 days only, November 24th and 25th. Nassau, Freeport, Abaco, and Eleuthera. Sale opening hours, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Don't you miss out.
I share everything with my love, everything but my big box. Come for chicken, I will share it. It's so tasty and delicious.
KFC's Genuine Big Box. 2 pieces of tasty chicken, 2 spicy wings, coleslaw, fries, fresh baked biscuit and cookie with a 22-ounce soda, all for just $10, including VAT. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Transform your home for less at Kelly's House and Home's Holiday Paint Sale, Friday, November 1st through Tuesday, December 24th. Enjoy 25% off house and spray paints plus 20% off paint supplies, excluding net items. Our wide selection of paint colors is the perfect way to bring holiday cheer to your home. You'll also find the best selection of brushes, rollers, and pans, glue, bladders, paint thinner, and more. So catch the holiday spirit and paint up for Christmas at Kelly's House and Home's Holiday Paint Sale.
The joy of giving comes with rewarding you with cash prizes from our regional pot of over US $100,000. Simply apply for a personal loan, auto loan, land loan, or mortgage from CIBC Caribbean. Once approved, you may be entered for a chance to be one of 3 lucky winners in your country. Each winner will of US $1,500, US $2,500, or US $5,000 cash. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joyofgiving. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
Shop till you drop this Black Friday with BWF. We are doing it big with deals made especially just for you. Shop early as the holiday approaches. 2 days of amazing blowout savings. Up to 50% off Black Friday, November 29th and 10 sale Saturday, November 30th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't miss this chance for massive savings. Deals, and more deals. Check out our wide selection of Christmas decor with savings that will blow you away. Black Friday, November 29th and 10 sale Saturday, November 30th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Shop and save big on appliances, generators, compressors, and water pumps, power tools, hardware supplies, automotive supplies and accessories, lawn and garden supplies, kitchen and outdoor cooking supplies, barbecue grills, household supplies, Christmas supplies, Junkanoo and craft supplies, toys, floral decor, and so much more. BWF. We are more than just our name. Number 13 Wilton Street. Telephone 394-0004 or 6. Check us out on Facebook. We ship to the family.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards. Chester Robards, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us, as always.
Glad to be here.
Hope you're doing well. It's going to be an interesting morning.
It's very much so.
Bahamas is Bahamasing. But in the midst of the heavy discussions we're going to have, also letting you know that the St. Barnabas Fair and Raffle is coming, the 95th anniversary of the church, and they're having a big thing Saturday. We'll get details about that. And then later, we told you about this yesterday, 16 days of activism to end gender-based violence began on Monday, and Zonta Club is a big player in that. And there's a lot of business news to get to as well. So we've got a busy Wednesday ahead. Let's begin, though, with what's in the news. And in the news, Chester, I've been joking with people. I've been saying it feels like this is like we're in a wacky TV series, and this might be the November. November is the season finale of the Bahamas. Like they're throwing everything at us. What next? What next could it be? Could it be a nuclear reactor or something? I don't know. What's happening? What is happening in our country?
And is the phrase today, "Here we go again"? Or
well, I guess, but it's like everything. Here we go again on top of the last. Here we go again. I don't know. I mean, anyway, but this is a lot. Okay, so the big headlines in the Guardian and all the papers: indicted. The other one says politician paid $2 million in cocaine scheme. Oh boy. Oh man. Okay, so let's read the Nassau Guardian. Travis Cartwright Carroll, with all the details here. To take a sip of coffee to get into this. This is My goodness. Okay, so 11, including a senior police officer, a police sergeant, and a defense force officer, along with 2 Colombians, have been charged with conspiracy to import cocaine into the United States, possession and use of firearms, and firearms conspiracy, according to an indictment filed in New York. The indictment, which was unsealed yesterday, names Chief Superintendent Elvis Curtis, officer in charge of the Airport Division, Royal Bahamas Police Force Sergeant Prince Albert Simonet, who works closely with Curtis, and Royal Bahamas Defense Force Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker as conspirators who helped facilitate the transshipment of tons of cocaine from South America through the Bahamas and ultimately into the United States. In a statement last night, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez said that Curtis and Roker were arrested in Florida yesterday and will be transported to federal courts in New York for trial. He said Simonet, a pensioner of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, has been suspended from duty effective immediately. That indictment alleges that corrupt police officers and government officials undermined the work of Bahamas Turks and Caicos, which launched in 1982 to police drug trafficking operations in the southern Bahamas. So the indictment states, quote, the increase in cocaine flow through the Bahamas has been a direct result of drug-fueled corruption that has infected various Bahamian institutions. More specifically, since at least in or about May 2021, corrupt high-ranking members of the RBPF and other Bahamian government officials have worked with Colombian and Bahamian drug traffickers to facilitate the receipt, protection, and safe passage of massive cocaine shipments through the airports and ports of the Bahamas. These corrupt RBPF and Bahamian government officials support the drug trade into the United States at every turn, from the airports, airstrips, and ports in the island chain that serve as points of entry for the cocaine shipments into the Bahamas, and onto maritime vessels that are then used to transit the cocaine through shipping routes from the northernmost points of the Bahamas into the United States. I'm going to save my commentary. Let me write down my notes because I have a lot to say. The indictment alleges that Curtis, who supervises airport locations throughout the Bahamas, including Lynden Pindling International Airport, the country's largest airport, abused his position in exchange for, quote, cocaine-fueled bribes from drug traffickers and their confederates. It's alleged that Curtis helped to, quote, facilitate the transportation of narcotics and drug trafficking proceeds by, among other things, providing safe passage for the traffickers at Nassau Airport and elsewhere in the Bahamas. The indictment alleges that in or about September 2024, Curtis told a trafficker that in exchange for $2 million, a high-ranking Bahamian politician, whom Curtis named, would authorize the assistance and involvement of Bahamian law enforcement officials, including RBPF officers, in facilitating cocaine shipments. Do we need to read that again? A high-ranking Bahamian politician whom Curtis named. Will we get the name? Who is this person? According to the indictment, Simonet, who worked closely with Curtis and Colombian drug traffickers, abused his position to, quote, facilitate the transportation of narcotics and drug trafficking proceeds via air and maritime routes by, among other things, accepting bribes for streamlining customs clearance for aircraft transporting cocaine into the Bahamas. Roker, the chief petty officer with the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, allegedly facilitated maritime drug trafficking by, quote, using his official position to obtain sensitive information about law enforcement operations by the U.S. Coast Guard and OPBAT, and alert drug traffickers in exchange for bribe payments. Lord. The indictment says, quote, although OPBAT missions regularly intercept cocaine and other drug shipments headed to the United States, those seizures pale in comparison to the scope of the drug trade through the Bahamas, which is in part enabled by corrupt RBPF, and Bahamian officials. They keep saying this. Wow. This is what they're on. Oh, my goodness. Is this a paper from 1980 something? This is today.
Here we go again.
Ooh, quote, instead, while nominally appearing to work in partnership with the DEA to stop the flow of cocaine to the United States, certain corrupt RBPF officials have abused OPBAT and their relationship with the DEA to disrupt law enforcement operations against select drug traffickers in the Bahamas. Among other things, corrupt RBPF officials have denied the DEA access to seized cocaine and related evidence, provided information to the DEA that was contradicted by aerial surveillance, my God, and on at least one occasion informed a DEA agent that certain drug trafficking targets were off limits. Whoa! What now?
That was the big one for me when I read it.
Oh, my God.
I was like, these people got some cheek, though.
Oh.
And not just that. You think that you're going to give the DEA one of the longest arms of the law in this region, some false information, and they're not going to figure it out? That is wrong.
Telling them they're off limits. Well, there's a whole lot more, folks. So bear with us.
I think the indictment was like 100 pages. Was it that long?
Well,
it was long.
Well, it doesn't take them.
And the introduction of it reads like A Nation for Sale.
Well, we've known that for a long time. But I just want you to see how quickly things move in real places, right? As opposed to waiting months and months and months for information about something, because we are clowns and jokers in this place, right? And don't ever ask again where the guns are coming from. Don't ever do it. Don't ever. Save the commentary for the end, but let's stop pretending now, once and for all. Let's continue. So the indictment says that while the OPBAT program has had a share of success, certain bad actors within the RBPF have concurrently worked to stifle its progress and instead to protect and assist their chosen drug traffickers in profiting through the cocaine trade. I think we got to read the rest of this through an AI that can be, right? In part, it cannot show any emotion because this is a lot. This is a lot.
I thought you were here to show emotion.
No, what? No. I'm supposed to be dispassionate and balanced. But I have to live here too. So that's the problem. Maybe if I move away and do the show abroad, then I won't feel, I won't see the madness and get really upset. I could just be a robot. But this is not about me. Let's continue. The indictment noted that drug trafficking as enabled by corrupt RBP, how many times do they say this? Occurs against a backdrop of rising crime in the country. In order to achieve safe passage for the large cocaine shipments, drug traffickers paid bribes to Bahamian law enforcement officials, including Curtis, Sonet, and Roker, the indictment alleges. It says, quote, for example, on or about October 18th, 2023, Curtis and Sonet each accepted an approximately $10,000 cash bribe payment as a down payment for their assistance in what they understood to be a future 600-kilogram cocaine shipment to the Bahamas through the Nassau airport for eventual distribution to the United States. The bribes paid by these traffickers ultimately benefit corrupt Bahamian government officials, including Curtis, Sonet, and Roker, who authorize and approve the drug trafficking activities and abuse the power of the state. In connection with discussion regarding drug and weapons trafficking in or about March 2024, Sonet understood that he had facilitated the transportation of certain cocaine that originated with the Fuerzas Armadas Revolutionary in Colombia, or in English, the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, and a potential weapons transaction that was to help the purported FARC members transport weapons from Florida into the Bahamas. You heard that? Weapons. Yes? Through the airport. Anyway, when it came down to trafficking cocaine into the U.S., the indictment alleges that various methods were used, including concealing the drugs in go-fast boats and other maritime vessels that traveled from Grand Bahama or Bimini to the U.S. Members of the conspiracy relied on the corrupt RBPF and other Bahamian officials, including Roker, who has access to maritime routes and ports, according to the indictment. They gave another example. On or about November 6, 2024, just days ago, Roker explained that he could provide individuals he understood to be drug traffickers seeking to transport large quantities of cocaine through the Bahamas and into the United States with information regarding the location of U.S. Coast Guard and RBDF vessels and advance warning of potential interdiction operations, and delay the arrival of RBDF cutters to allow traffickers to escape detection. Is this treason? I mean, it's... Anyway. In that same conversation, Roker provided additional advice about how a drug smuggler could avoid interdiction while transiting through the Bahamas, including the type of boat to use and the operations of Bahamian customs officials. Also named in the indictment are Bahamians: Ricardo Adolphus Davis, William Simeon, Theodore Nathaniel Adderley, Joshua McDonald Scavella, Devon Revion Kaim Roll, Darren Arthur Ferguson, Dominic Delancey, and Donald Frederick Ferguson II. Colombians Lorelamo Steele Pomare and Luis Fernando Orzorco Toro are also named. Steele Pomare is a narcotics broker who introduces Colombians and Bahamian drug traffickers so they can work together, according to the indictment. Oh, he's like, what, LinkedIn? He also coordinates cocaine shipments and works closely with multiple corrupt RBPF officials. That's a quote, multiple corrupt RBPF officials. Orozco...
Meaning these people have been seen with him or heard talking to him or something.
He's in contact with them somehow, yeah. Mm-hmm. Orozco Toro is a drug trafficker who ships cocaine from South America to the U.S. via the Bahamas. Orozco Toro works closely with his Bahamian drug trafficking partners, including Devon Revion Kaim Roll. Roll, according to the indictment, is a maritime drug trafficker who operates out of Nassau and Bimini. Roll facilitates cocaine smuggling from the Bahamas into the U.S., typically by boat, including go-fast boats from Bimini to Miami. We were told last night by the Office of the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister intends to make a communication to Parliament on the indictment this morning. And we're going to see if we should carry that live. I think we'll... Okay. Wow. Wow. So the papers have of a mugshot. The mugshot, this is the Tribune, the mugshot of Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker. And it's going to read a little bit of their story. A senior police officer has alleged that an unnamed high-ranking Bahamian politician authorized the help and involvement of Bahamian law enforcement officials in a scheme to facilitate cocaine shipments from the Bahamas to the United States for $2 million, according to a stunning United States federal indictment released yesterday that includes some of the most severe allegations of official corruption since the drug era of the 1980s. Wow. The United States District Court, Southern District of New York, has alleged that the drug traffickers have smuggled tons of cocaine through the Bahamas into the United States since 2021 with the support and protection of corrupt Bahamian government officials, including high-ranking members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. So the Tribune obtained the indictment after Police Commissioner Clayton Fernander revealed in a press statement last night that 2 senior law enforcement officers were arrested in Florida yesterday on drug and firearm charges. The officers, Chief Superintendent of Police Elvis Curtis, the officer in charge of aviation, and Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker, A Defense Force officer will be transported to federal courts in New York for trial on possession of and use of firearms and firearms conspiracy. Commissioner Fernandez also said Sergeant Prince Albert Simonet, a force pensioner, has been named in the indictment and will be suspended from duty effective immediately. Okay, so the rest of it is...
Why didn't it mention the other police officer?
No, it did. Elvis Curtis.
Yeah, what was done with him in terms of his employment before?
I'm not... I don't know. I don't understand. But, wow. Okay. What now?
Well, I hope the politician who was named is in cold sweats and maybe trying to escape the country. That would be interesting.
Well, I hope we know the name. I hope we learn the name and soon. And soon.
Will the government drain the RBPF swamp?
They might have to just close that one down and bring in something else. Because this is crazy. We're still waiting to find out what's up with CID, right? That might be a drop in the bucket compared to what else is going on.
Well, it's just another link in the chain, right? That we've been talking about. So you can't just keep leaving us in the dark. I mean, and it always takes something like this. It always takes like an American investigation.
Yeah, we can't rely on ourselves. No, we will.
No, of course not.
Never hear. We're still investigating the report. Next 2 years from now, something. So thank God for the outsiders. Wow. Okay, let's hear from you folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 342-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. You know, I don't think, is anyone really surprised? I mean, people joke about it all the time, right? You hear people joke about how they found 10 kilos, but only 9 came in or something, right? People say that nonsense, and you think it's funny, but, right? And people saying, yeah, how are these getting in? And people make jokes, and they tell you, somebody said the other day, remember he called the show and swiped us before he hung up about how when he was told to get something, he was told to go to the police college. And we're like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? But
we joke about Bimini. We joke about
everyone.
West End.
My
we
God,
joke about West End
and Grand Bahama. Yep, but it's not jokes. This is the reality. We got to stop playing. Do not be surprised about anything. You know exactly how the drugs and the guns get here. And plenty of you and your family members are directly involved in the foolishness.
They living directly
probably.
off
Some is my family too. Yeah, probably. I could probably name some people.
Living directly off that money.
This is insanity. And the most hypocritical place probably on the planet Earth. Let's hear from you. The phone lines are all lit up. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. Pleasant day to you.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, I would like to apologize for being missing in action. I wanted to call you back on Friday.
Okay, what do you got to say about this one today? This is a hot
one.
Yeah,
definitely. I have it on my screen right now. There was a word, since you want me to talk that right away, there was a word that I considered, I'm into politics in terms of not just local politics, all over the world, Caribbean, etc. The same thing is happening in Guyana with officers and the drugs, even though Guyana has found oil and selfishness. And the word that I was looking at, I heard on one of those, either France or in England, they were talking about democracies. And they said, we really don't have democracies, we have oligarchy. And I said, let me check this word out. And so there's a part that you remember in the report, it's talking about corruption, and it's a very terrible stain on our country, and the force and the rest of it. Even though I'm thinking that the forces has good people in the force, at the top and the bottom, but the corruption is also from the top to the bottom. Okay, I'm saying that it's all gloves off, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now, the definition says.
Really quickly, we've got a lot of calls.
A government in which a small group exercises control, especially for corrupt and selfish purposes. Now, what I wanted to
I think the Bahamas has been that way since
your party.
The Bahamas has been that way since 1492, at least.
And I want to also say that when the gentleman called and said that I should contribute to a fund to help persons in need, like the young lady that died, I am willing for that, and I will be contributing my small amount, and I'm hoping that all listeners and all citizens will do the same.
Okay, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. What's in my head? Because the same things you reiterated, the same things I was thinking about our government and the system, and that how we need outside interference to get things done in this country.
Every time.
This is a big stay on us, man. And like you said, with the ongoing thing with the guy in charge of the CID, that hasn't finished yet. You know what I mean? And I'm sure this same catastrophe right now is happening will be finished before even that is wrapped up.
Ha!
You understand? So what are we doing in this country? Who do we go to?
Maybe they should hand that one over to the U.S. directly.
Bahamians Police Force. You understand?
Yeah.
Oh, man. This is terrible, man.
Yeah, but it's a lot about us, though, right? Because, again, the police, thank you so much for calling. The police force, they come from us. We've known this for a long time. We've known it's been like this from at least the 80s. We thought we got a handle on it. Obviously not. And I don't know how serious some people are with dealing with it. Once this is exposed and things get a little, people will be on their best behavior for a while. And then somebody will think they've found a better way to beat the system, right? And they'll be allowed to do it probably tomorrow. What? Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight, and good morning, Chester.
Hi.
There's a belly full, there's a mouthful. This here is, this just drop on us. Drop. I would like to know how long this been happening.
They're saying at least 2021.
Pardon me?
This group at least 2021. That's as far
2021 this year?
No,
2021.
The year 2021.
I mean, during this period, okay?
From 2021 up until the beginning of November of this year.
Okay, we need to step. We need to make a stand. We need to just do something. I think we need a clean house as far as the Minister of National Security. People was asking for him to be removed for some time now. The Commissioner of Police, I feel like it's high time he been gone too. The Prime Minister, at some point, I know you have a press today, you need to say something to this Bahamian people because you're losing us. As a matter of fact, you already lose us. Because we're watching person murder from day to day, wondering where these guns come from. So it's only in our head where the drugs and the guns are coming from, okay? When we heard about what happened there to the head of CID, we thought that was, no wonder that happened. Because things worse than that was happening. This country is losing. We are losing.
With that one, we still have to say. With that one, we still have to say allegedly.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't want our leaders to go trying to talk to no one U.S. official to try to hide nothing. Let's hear who these people is. Okay? Let's bring these people out and let the Bahamian people know. We don't have nothing to cover up. So don't try negotiating with no U.S. official because we know how we go. We like sweeping things under the rug, and you think that ends it, it gets worse.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's get these calls, and we've got a whole lot of your messages coming in as well. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, cousin Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you guests.
Hi. You're not going to drop any bombs today, right? We have enough. We have enough.
No. I called to really agree with you this morning. I woke up hearing, and even though I'm embarrassed as a Bahamian, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, Dwight, because we, like you say, the GNN have been dropping some bombs on the ground, but nobody's believe us when we call the talk shows and tell people.
I think we don't want to believe you. It's too embarrassing and shameful to believe what you're saying. I think deep down we know it is quite possible, but it's just it really hurts that we could be so pathetic.
Right? I agree with you, Dwight. I so shame, right? Be so shame traveling or gotta go where I gotta go now. The way people just be talking there and looking at you. But all we gotta do, Dwight, is remember, go back from the days of the Laura Quinn. You remember that saga?
I think
you remember that, right?
I've heard a little bit. I think I was young.
That's when the same set of people involved politicians, police and defense force, got all that drugs and was throwing the law in, and time as the boat reached the Bahamas, half of the drugs was gone. Ain't nobody can catch yet, police, nor defense force. And one more question, right? This politician or politicians that's indicted, are they present, sitting, or passed?
We don't know. That's the one name they haven't called. I don't understand it. I guess it's too much hearsay. It's too they can't. They follow.
Well, the GNN ain't not indicted yet. I can wait for you all.
Oh, you're saying you know it? Anyway, don't go. Oh boy. People might be willing to pay $2 million to find out who that politician is. Oh boy!
Of course they would. But they're not. The politician isn't indicted, right? They're not.
No, but he named a politician who would help to facilitate this activity. Wow, caller. Good morning. Yes, we can.
Yeah, morning to you and your guests. Dwight, I think this is something that you guys have to do now from the media perspective. All the senior media people, Candia, yourself, Jerome Sawyer, I think you guys need to hit the ground running and find out who these people are. Because at the end of the day, we can't continue living in a country like this. And for sure, I don't want to hear where the guns and drugs coming from, because we know exactly where it comes from.
Indeed.
And the reality is, I think the media needs to be more hard pushed and really, really expose the corruption is what is going on in this country. Because again, for the DEA to have this information, they know who these people are. And quite frankly, I hope that they have more indictments to go on, at least 200 indictments, and we need to do a complete clean of the police force.
I mean, how do you propose that the media do this? You think people are just going to tell you? It's like, yeah, this one.
Hello?
How do you propose the media do this? You think people are just going to tell you who is
investigated journalism? I mean,
no,
get on the ground, right?
Yeah, what does that mean? If I come to you, you're going to tell me who amongst you is corrupt? You're going to just like willingly tell me?
No, they're not going to come out and openly.
Yeah, exactly. So what does that mean? You want us to break into places and look through files? That's what you mean, right?
Well, I can't say that
because
but,
what you all like to use the term. I agree with you. People, we need more information. But when you say it like that, you make it sound like no one's going to talk if that's going to upset their bread, their livelihood.
But then I agree. But then at the same time, too, right? Let's look at it from a financial perspective. If all of these guys are indicted, especially those who are public and civil servants, and the way they live in their lifestyles and this and that, nobody's questioning, like, how could you afford that? Now you start to see, like, hey, how could I afford to live like this?
People were questioning, but people were always questioning.
So it has to have some level of, hey, who's really looking into this?
Okay, I hear you. It's not as simple as you think. But if you notice, based on this article, clearly there were some undercover people working along who got these people trapped. Right? They're talking too much and tell them, I could get this politician to do this for you. Yeah, you're talking to an undercover agent. So it's not like somebody says, hey, tell me who this guy works with. No, it's not like that. But if you want to be, as we keep talking about whistleblowers, you can report stuff, Crime Stoppers. Tell people if you are serious about fixing this country, speak. Crime Stoppers allows you to do it anonymously. This is a small country. You'd be shocked who people are related to. And so that might be a better way to do it. A lot of people are not going to talk to the media. And so let's be realistic here. Be realistic.
Yep.
Let's talk to this caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
Good morning, dear guest. GNN and the last caller, he made a lot of sense. He's saying nobody, but me, a dreadlocks guy who is a dummy who walks down the streets and is very crazy, but he was crying wolf for a while about everything, right? Now, I said that, well, we still only have a few bad apples, okay? Now, the thing is, we need a police force, but we don't need that type of policing. So what I'm saying is, it's basically all of us collectively, because as individuals cry out on the airwaves, you don't hear anything, and then you have people who even in the high school chat, I had to drop out because the people, their minds crop out. Now, what happened, Mr. Strachan, is we are always living in denial. I remember the Lorica and GNN. I knew a guy who was mixed up in the law, Quinn. So, I mean, he lived out there. Listen to me. This was going on. The lady called, she's very naive, but she wanted to know how long it was going on. GNN, we know about the Commission of Inquiry. We know about all of these things. Maybe someone needs to read the nature of the things that took place, right? Because nothing has changed. And so Scoogy, nobody listens to Scoogy. Scoogy was highlighting these things, and Scoogy also was calling for all of the dubious shootings and all of the arrests that these guys made to be brought into question. But we won't move along those lines. I told you guys just no longer than last week or a couple of days ago, people don't realize the implications of a top official in the police force having a conversation with a known gangster. They just don't. And so you really don't, because your mind is naive and green, you don't understand the repercussions and the level of things that could have taken place and the power that it have to you to have somebody number, the power that it entails. We saw a lot of dubious shooting. Harold Road, we saw the thing with a headshot engraved on one of the guns. But what more do we need, Mr. Strachan? See, it's us, It's us. And when I told you guys that the officers, that what you, Mr. Strachan? You want me to tell you the most important thing for me? No cameras has been installed yet on a wide scale, and they're still ending people's homes without cameras. And people sitting on. Listen to me. Let me show you something.
People are 52. You need to calm down. Calm down. People are seeing what you're seeing and are saying what you're saying. But as we see, the corruption runs deep. There's a reason why those things aren't happening, because they like it like this. We're all on the same page, but people are afraid. People are getting killed. Do you see how many people get killed in this country? What do you want us to do? That is how people feel. Right? But we all agree with you. No one's being a sheep. They just feel like they can't do anything. This is a corrupt nation. It is clear. Right? Do you know when people tell me after these shows, oh, you need to calm down, or you talk on the show, you need to. Because people are willing, very, very, very willing to take you out for nothing. So this is where we are, and we have to stop playing. But people know what you're saying, and people agree with what you're saying, and are saying those things, right? But why isn't anything changing? We got to take a break. You want to take this call before we do it, or you want to go to the break? Let's take the break. We'll come back to this. A whole lot to get to. This is an upsetting day. I mean, the mirror is on top of us now, and you can't run from it to see who we are. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
La 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 la. Love ya love, oh love ya love, oh love ya love. Gotta sponge your money, never done. Sponge your money, sponge your money's a lot of fun. Sponge your money. La 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 la.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamians.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. Some residents are beginning to return to their homes in South Lebanon now that there's a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah, the Lebanese militant group. The AP's Lisa Dwyer.
A ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon has now begun. Prior to the ceasefire going into effect, residents of Beirut and its southern suburbs endured the most intense day of Israeli strikes since the war began nearly 14 months ago. Hezbollah also fired rockets into Israel, triggering air raid sirens across the country's north. The Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire marks the first step towards ending the region-wide unrest triggered by Hamas's attack on Israel on October 7th, 2023. But it does not address the devastating war in Gaza.
If you're traveling on this day before Thanksgiving and you're not on the road yet, you still have time to beat the worst of it. The best time to travel today is before 10 a.m. The worst time is this afternoon, says INREX, the data provider. The AAA says Americans will break records for Thanksgiving holiday travel this year. Law enforcement says they've busted a shoplifting ring that stole nearly $2 million in clothing and beauty products from stores in the U.S. and then resold them in New York City and the Dominican Republic. Queens County, New York DA Melinda Katz.
The alleged retail theft ring specifically targeted Ulta Beauty, Sephora, Macy's, American Eagle, and other well-known retailers. 5 New Yorkers charged with crimes. If President-elect Trump makes good on his threat to put tariffs on items from Mexico and Canada, along the added costs, raising prices, this is AP News.
President-elect Trump has filled out his economic team with 2 veterans of his first administration. The AP's Norman Hall has this.
President-elect Donald Trump is turning to 2 officials with experience navigating not only Washington but the key issues of income taxes and tariffs as he fills out his economic team. Trump has chosen international trade attorney Jamieson Greer to be his U.S. trade representative and Kevin Hassett as director of the White House National Economic Council. Hassett brings into Trump's administration a major advocate for tax cuts. If confirmed as trade representative, Greer would be responsible for negotiating directly with foreign governments on trade deals and disputes, as well as memberships in international trade bodies such as the World Trade Organization. Norman Hall, Washington.
And for those of you traveling today, gas is $3.07 a gallon this morning. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
It's time for your First Look at Traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. All right, so the work continues with Bay Street. They're getting ready to pave it between East Street and Christie Street. You want to avoid, and most of that work takes place at night. It's supposed to be wrapping up sometime this week, but we'll keep you posted. In your real-time traffic right now, we're seeing heavy traffic in the usual hot spots. That's Milo Butler Highway, heavy northbound traffic from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight through the Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Traffic is building up at the six-legged roundabout northbound on Milo Butler Highway, eastbound a little bit on JFK Drive. At Saunders Beach, you're seeing slow-moving traffic eastbound on West Bay Street near New Providence Highway. At this hour, Gladstone Road is busy for you as well, from Fire Trail straight up to JFK and Bahama Boulevard. Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill Road, slow-moving traffic there, and Blue Hill is busy for you from just St. Vincent straight up to Independence Drive. East Street, seeing some busy, slow-moving traffic northbound, especially from Bamboo Boulevard straight up to Soldier Road and straight through to East Street and East West Highway. And then we've got Robinson Road and Prince Charles Drive near Soldier Road, east and west of that. Slow-moving westbound traffic. Eastern Road busy for you as well at this hour. So you'll need your patience today. That's your real time brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. Got another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. So we've got an uneventful weather pattern right now for most of the country due to the presence of a quasi-stationary Bermuda high. That's brought a dry air mass and weather associated with a trough meandering across the islands will shift slightly east of the southern Bahamas this afternoon, with increased shower chances beginning tonight. So that Bermuda high is going to retreat eastwards into the Atlantic, and the surface trough will slowly drift westwards and weaken across the Bahamas by the end of the week. That's going to elevate shower chances and humidity. But a cold front is going to move into the area by late Friday, early Saturday morning, and that's going to move into the central Bahamas throughout the day. A reinforcing cold front and building high pressure will nudge the front southwards by Sunday evening and into next week, ushering in seasonably cooler temperatures and locally strong winds. So for today, sunny, turning fair tonight. Partly sunny today, turning mostly fair for the central islands. Cloudy to occasionally overcast with a 40 to 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms for the southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today, look for highs around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight in the low 60s for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, in the near 70 for the rest of the northwest and central Bahamas. In your extended outlook for Thursday, partly sunny to sunny across most areas, turning cloudy in the southeast Bahamas. Friday, pretty much the same. Saturday, partly sunny with occasionally cloudy periods in the northern and northwest Bahamas as that front moves through. And Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds with occasional cloudy periods in the northern and northwest Bahamas due to that front. We'll take a closer look at the tropics in a bit. But this weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Get a deal on all 2024 electric vehicle models in stock at Easy Car Sales. Visit their online store at easy242.com for financing, discounts, and rebates while they last.
It's a Christmas wish for all from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
Busy mornings demand a hearty breakfast, so start your mornings off the best way with Wendy's new breakfast wrap. Enjoy this savory wrap that's packed with fresh cracked eggs, breakfast potatoes, and a melty cheese sauce, with a choice of savory sausage or crispy bacon, all wrapped in a warm, soft tortilla. Wendy's always serves breakfast the right way.
Looking for unique and exciting Bahamian experiences? Street Smart has you covered. Whether it's snorkeling, cultural tours, or hidden dining gems. And for local business owners, this is your chance to get in front of millions of visitors by joining the Street Smart platform. Showcase your products and services. Street Smart is your connection to unforgettable experiences. Visit StreetSmart242.com today. Sign up and let's show the world the best of the Bahamas. Street Smart, connecting you to unforgettable experiences. Download now.
Make your house a home. Stop by the furniture store that's giving you more. With appliances, furniture, and prices. Whatever you want, we got it all. Promise Furniture, no one better. We give it you. We make it worthwhile. We make it worthwhile. Comfort and style. Quality and style, yeah. Promise Furniture, no one better. What we give it you. We make it worth the style. Promise Furniture.
You're a builder. You want to give your client the best material at the best prices, and you need to put food on the table. Well, check out these prices at Pinder Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68, includes VAT. By the way, all these prices include VAT. Great Select Water Shield, $134.20 a roll. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50, 30 pounds, $19.80. Owens Corning Duration Shingles and Certainty Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon Roof Cement, $33.47. When it comes to screwing and nailing, Pinder got you covered. He got every nail and screw you could possibly need.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply. Maybe it's your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976. Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store, has the perfect gifts just for you. Now until December 24th, you can get 5 to 50% off everything in store, plus 20% off Christmas lights, 25% off artificial Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, and all toys. Standard Services, just around the block with everything in stock. They have everything you need to keep everyone happy this Christmas season. Get the perfect gifts, plus 5 to 50% off everything at Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Fun, baby.
Vision, dreams of passion. And all the while I think of you. Action. The more I see, the more I do.
Wow. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with Chester Robards on this Wednesday morning. Man, what a day. What a day. We're reacting to this news, this massive operation out of the United States. Bahamians charged in connection with a huge cocaine and firearms operation. Some high-level officials named in this as well. 11 Bahamians have been charged with conspiracy to import cocaine into the United States, possession and use of firearms, and firearm conspiracy, according to this indictment in New York. Already fallout with the force as Police Force Chief Superintendent Elvis Curtis, officer in charge of the Airport Division, and Royal Bahamas Police Force Sergeant Prince Albert Simonet, who works closely with Curtis, and Defense Force Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker are charged as conspirators who helped facilitate the transshipment of tons of cocaine from South America to the Bahamas and ultimately into the United States. The Prime Minister expected to give a special communication in the House this morning on this. This is just wild, Chester. We've got a lot of calls, but we have a lot of text messages too. Let's take these calls really quickly, folks. I need everyone to get to their points very quickly, and then we want to get to the text messages. Our text line about to break because I think this has set everybody off. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning, Jester.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, I can't wait for the MP name to drop. But,
well, I mean, it's just going to be hearsay, so I don't know if we will hear it.
I'm hoping to the process, to the legal process.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, because they said that the name has already been called.
He told them, yeah.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, according to what's been reported, the name has already been called. But, Mr. Strong, I mean, you know, this is just, like, what's really wrong with the country. Like, we don't have anyone of real integrity. You look at the church, you know what I mean? You find people that's questionable there, people talking with that. You look at the police force, you find people talking with that. You look at politics, you find people talking with that. I mean, like
well, that's humans. That's how humans are, right? So, but the thing is, you don't tolerate the foolishness. Once you find out, you don't just say, "Oh, well, that's just how it is," and that's what we've been doing around here. People have been, as you say, suspect forever.
But Mr. Strong, the thing about it is this, though, because we as a society, right, we're already feel this way about these institutions, right? The thing is that no matter how much we talk about these things, nothing could change because everything is already corrupted. Everything has to be removed.
Well, you can't have that.
Everything has to be uprooted because right now, Mr. Strong, no matter how much we talk, unless there's uprooting of the system, ain't nothing could change. When you talking, you have a good day.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you have that attitude, then yeah, nothing will change. But do you want it to change? If you want it to change, if we all want it to change, it will change. You know, some people don't want it to change because they want their time to do the nonsense. Chester, you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Morning, Chester.
Good morning.
Dwight, when I heard the story this morning, well, I started following it from last night, but when I read it this morning, the headlines this morning, the only thing that I can say is that the boys are back in town. This is reminiscent of the 80s and 90s. I mean, it's almost the exact same script. And the school is about to go. They breed a new set, and I just don't see how things are going to change. The Prime Minister is calling a press conference at 10, or he's giving a statement in the House of Assembly at 10. If he's not calling the politician names, he might as well just keep quiet, because as far as we know, it could be him who's gotten paid the $2 million.
Wow, okay. That's really wild. But, oh, man, thank you for the call. Again, good Lord. Good morning. Hi, good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Chester.
Hi.
Good morning. Yeah, Dwight, I thought I could have touched on how the mother said she ain't want the money from the funeral homes and things. She want $15,000 cash, but after this breaking news come out on the news, that getting put on the back burner right now. We got to deal with that Friday. Now, you and Chester...
Something else might break by then.
Dwight, you ain't like, this is a jokey, clowny place. And please don't ask no more where all the guns coming in. And then I agree, Chester, I'm so glad this is the U.S. This. And Dwight, when you is 11 now, time is the U.S. and dig up and that, it could be 1100. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And do you say this from 2021? 2 to 1, that's a PLP-MP.
Hey,
because we know the PLP and drugs go together.
No, you can't say that. Come on.
We didn't know that. So.
We know that it's any anyway. No, stop. But we have a history, unfortunately. Man, y'all are not going to make this easy.
No.
I think we might have to stick to the text messages so I can edit them out.
That caller before said the boys are back in town. I don't think the boys ever left.
No. The boys turned this into mega city a long time ago and running the city.
Like Dragon Ball Z followers would know, I don't think it's over. They're just saying, you haven't seen my final form.
This is certainly a November to remember in this Bahamas. Mm-hmm. Certainly. Wow. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Yeah, Dwight. Like GNN said earlier this morning, right? what's to be? I mean, you only could be shocked. I mean, no, you can't be shocked about this, right? You can't be surprised about this, right? Because in the early months of 2020, at least in that year alone, at least 3 to 4 shipments of cocaine land all over the Southwest Bahamas, and ain't nobody saying nothing but it.
What?
Except for when a plane was the same plane what our government trying to buy now when they hold that one with all the drugs inside it, right? The Bahamas, the leaders, Dwight, and we don't want to ever admit it, but our leaders is our problem, because if you is a leader and you don't like corruption, there's certain things you can do so that wouldn't be a part of your leadership or your legacy. Our governments, right? They are not interested in having no legacy. They're interested in having money, because you see, once you have money, whatever your legacy is, it don't matter to these people, man. Right? You guys have a nice day.
Okay. All right, let's get to the messages. We have not gone to those, and it's a lot of them. So this is on our Twitter. I still call it that because what is X? It's foolishness. This person says here, an appropriate joint statement from the Prime Minister, Minister of National Security, Commissioner of Police, Commodore of the Defense Force would be, quote, we resign. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. And then what? And then what? Just start all over. Okay. This texter said the tweet. This tweet says America has a huge appetite for illegal drugs. They consume the most out of all countries worldwide. Okay, and what about it? Yeah, it's
okay. So that don't mean we have to be the pipeline.
Yeah, we don't have to be the chefs for their appetite. Certainly. We're cooking it up. This person says here the Commissioner of Police needs to step down ASAP. That's it, and that's all. That's a text. When the sentence for a crime is not quickly carried out, people's hearts are filled with schemes to do wrong. That's Ecclesiastes 8:11. This is what's wrong in our country. Another texter, not so random question in light of this new indictment. What is the status of the Scotland Yard probe into the other high? This latest indictment be swept under the rug if it were not unsealed by the U.S. government? Good day. Who is this high-ranking politician? Yeah, we all want to know. Well, we're not going to let the police force forget about that one. They said by the end of the year, they've got a month left. And we don't care if it's Christmas Day. You better say what's going on. And we're only going to think the worst now, no matter what. So this might be a good time to sweep the house. This person says, we always know it's an inside job. It's time for exposure for all of them. Nothing but an embarrassment to our country. Don't choke on that coffee, Dwight. Tons of it. You'll need more than coffee when the birdies start to sing, especially when we hear who the MP is. Can't wait for the name. What's that saying? They coming by boat? I mean, they smuggling by boat. They smuggling by plane. Police do it all. Well, there are still some good people on all of these forces. We know that. Don't know the numbers, but there's still some good ones. This person says the message is crystal clear that Bahamians do not want to deal with corruption, and not only that, but also that the world knows not just how corrupt the leaders still are, but also that we won't demand better. Both parties, with the police, refuse to address the issue. But Uncle Sam has been watching as we again make excuses, but do nothing about these people in charge. You saw that last week in the paper, how they were very concerned about whether the Bahamas would take action against SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. They're wondering what was taking so long. What are we doing?
Embarrassing ourselves.
Oh, man. This person says...
Yeah,
go on.
That person who was saying that the U.S. is always watching, I hope people wrote in journalism. I was still in school and covering federal court for the Tribune. And I was in court very regularly when there was this ring smuggling drugs, the baggage handler ring smuggling drugs. You remember that?
Yeah.
And those guys were being set up by undercover officers, DEA officers, left, right, and center over here. Y'all people who want this fast, rich lifestyle, better watch yourselves. And don't forget, 90 Nose went to trial over some wiretap evidence.
Yeah.
You You think people ain't listening?
They're
and
watching
people ain't setting you
and
up
listening.
and watching.
Absolutely.
You seen in that indictment it said the DEA got bad evidence and then aerial surveillance proved that it was bad. Okay, come on.
Yeah. So I don't know why you think you can outsmart these folks. Your day will come. And again, you'll only embarrass the country and yourselves in the end. This is wild. If the crooked cops were smart, they would call all, and we all know all kind of cloaking can go down. Okay, please don't let either PLP or FNM members or trolls call in today. No one can change the darkness in their parties. Even the U.S. admits it's our police calling in and warning criminals. That's really crazy, eh? Now we know who's bringing in the drugs and the illegal weapons. But when locals say it, they want to lock people up. Next rock to turn over is the judicial system. Okay. And these peculiar sentences for certain people. Wow. But that is...
But you know...
Yeah, go on.
You know, some of these names might never come to light because as we see in some of these movies and shows, you know, these agencies often use these people who might have been named to get to bigger fish. They might leave them alone and say, look, we know who you are, we know what you're doing. Anyway, help us in this regard, and we might turn a blind eye to these things.
Yeah, well. When the wicked rule, there is turmoil in the land. The PLP administration even ain't seem focused on peace, order, and good governance. They are deflecting from every issue and worrying about what the FNM and the next election. The House needs to be dissolved today. Time for a new government. Wow. Well, again, would that change anything? We seem to have a serious problem across the board with how our people think. All right, you remember what people say? How people are so willing to pay bribes to get things done. That just seems like a standard operating procedure here. This is in our DNA, in the bones, to not do things the right way. Something is in the way things work in the Bahamas from that time, from the time of the pirates wrecking. Every part of this country's economy was built on crime. Every part. To this day. My God. This text was shut down the whole force. Investigate from top to bottom. This person says, with all that it's already going on here, this is truly another black eye for the Bahamas. My heart is heavy. This is treasonous. Yeah, this is really bad. Do you think Prime Minister Davis is going to do the right thing and step down before the Black Hawks come? What, Black Hawks? Oh, that's the U.S. fighters? Oh, God almighty. This has been going on for decades. These folks just got caught. You know. That high-ranking politician should be named today. Dwight, stop being modest in your analysis. This is on the Commissioner of Police. He has now proven to be an ineffective force on the force and needs to resign. Too much corruption under him and this Minister of National Security. Okay. God knows and sees all. The 2024 year of exposure is not done yet. We had better stop or risk being destroyed. I bet the damage control team had them keyboards smoking well into the early morning. We don't have to be careful in calling these officers in uniform rogue as the U.S. federal agents caught them. The 10 a.m. spin show from the protected halls of Parliament won't tell us nothing new. These officers have decimated their families because they're going to be gone for a long time in the U.S. federal system. You're reading that indictment strong and fearless this morning, Dwight. Thank you. And thank you, USA. Okay, well, thank you, USA. I'm not even going to say good morning this morning. Okay, last week I sent you a text to tell you, stop accusing green card holders of bringing guns. I didn't say that. That's what they said. Green card holders of bringing guns to the Bahamas. You know what I want from you? A formal apology. I did not accuse I don't know anything about that. I'm telling you, that's what the police and the officials here have been saying. You want an apology from me and Prime Minister Davis? Keep encouraging this nonsense. Every Bahamian citizen, green card holder in the United States, has what's called a real ID. There are no green card holders risking prison time in their green cards. You all are not going to rest until the Bahamas get sanctioned. Keep it up. There's a new sheriff in town, January 20th. Oh, it's a Trump supporter. No wonder you're sending ridiculous text messages like that. Okay, because you can swear for all green card holders. Sure. Okay. Make everything great again, please.
One of those make us.
Don't claim that person. Oh boy. Okay, we only have a couple minutes because we got to go to a break. But God knows and sees all. We read that already. At least the police and defense force rivalry isn't as bad as we thought. But they cooperate on the important things, eh?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Maybe it was all a show. Maybe it was all a show to throw things off. My goodness gracious. Dwight, be fair to your texters. When someone writes in stating that most of the corruption is being carried out by an official, you edit out that accusation. I mean, wait, call in if you have the guts. I mean, you try anyway. We will wait for Trump to drop some serious restrictions on the Bahamas. What's wrong with you people? Take away pre-clearance. Make it very difficult for Bahamians to get travel visas to the U.S. and so much more. There's just too much corruption going on. We keep hearing about how many illegals have been getting Bahamian passports through corruption. It is only a matter of time before the U.S. exposes this too. Isn't there an international media consortium that you guys can liaise with to uncover this case? Calm down. I don't understand what's going on. Now that we know where the guns and drugs are coming from and how it gets here, can we who have family members and loved ones murdered, can they sue the police force and defense force? Murdered by whom? Okay. Our country is for sale. Justice is for sale, and the world knows it. This is why I truly hate when our so-called leaders speak against something and they know full well that they are participating in the corruption. And one thing is for certain, people out here without means are on their own. Oh, boy. That's not... Wow. This is very disturbing. The public is waiting on the report of a chief superintendent implicated for soliciting a bribe. Now another chief superintendent? This texture, until we, the Bahamian people, come to the realization that the police force needs to be revamped, I think we have been there. Anyway, nothing will change. It's a fraternity of mafia. Sorry, the few good men are outnumbered and will always be. If only Bahamians weren't so passive and complicit in the standard of corruption, we would have demanded change since the voice notes of a high-ranking police official negotiating with a criminal for his cut was made public. If we can accept that, there's no hope. Wow. Members of the One Order Gang originated here, and they're trying to get into Canada for the same reasons, drugs, murders, and guns. Well, everybody's expanding their business. The Americans will embarrass the government. And, yep. Okay. Corruption starts at the head of any organization. The issues are those we have at the helm of the country and the police force, because the matter with the senior, okay, something's going on with the text. But anyway, yes, things are bad. All right, and these texts here, this one police case ain't going away, ain't like the CID case, right? And I just remembered something. Didn't we just set up a company to handle all air freight that comes through the customs department? Okay. What do you do in the dark when the dark comes out in the light? What you do in the dark comes out in the light, they're saying. Yes, okay. Yeah, okay. You only get justice in a foreign country. When citizens have to report the police to their squaddies, nothing can come out. They are the worst of the gangs. Yikes. They're not just corrupt cops, they're predators wearing a uniform. And now, the system they manipulated is about to drag them through the mud in federal. It doesn't make you untouchable. It just makes your fall harder when justice comes calling. Thank God those officers were...
A lot of poetic people today.
Yeah, people are really feeling it. Thank God those officers were arrested in the United States and not in the Bahamas. Well, would they have been arrested in the Bahamas? I pray for the day some of our leaders are led away in handcuffs. What? This country is just too corrupt. Rape and murder, commonplace, but our Prime Minister refuses to impose strict laws and harsher prison sentences for violent crimes. I'm not going to read the rest of that one there. Oh, boy.
Well, what does that say, though? I mean, because you see U.S. law enforcement do that a lot. Wait until these people, or even like kind of get them to come to the U.S. for a reason through, I don't want to say entrapment, because if you're guilty, it is what it is. But lure them there, and then arrest them? Like, why don't they? Is it because they can't trust our police force to do it?
You know the answer. What are you asking me?
Is it that, or is it? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to speculate, to be honest.
Okay. But one of them told the DEA, you can't touch this guy.
That's right.
What in God's name is that about? Can you imagine how he was doing it? Oh, you're crazy. You can't be touching. What?
But
we got to go to the break, Chester. But let me just read this one text before we go. Maybe people want to know how much the commissioner got from a settlement with the government for wrongful dismissal. Was it that day? Early retirement day. Sweep the house from the top. The commissioner needs to go. Wow. We're all going to be waiting to see what happens this morning in the house. All right, we got to take a break. We'll pick this up a little bit later in the show, but we need a little breather from this. There's still some good in the country and good people. We're going to talk with some of them, so stay tuned. This will be a palate cleanser this morning, desperately needed. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves. Yes, real talk. I'm not just saying this to impress myself. We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas, and you'll surely find colour in every day.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window and cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Around the world, Cleveland Clinic is recognized as a leader in healthcare. Our team of experts relentlessly pursues the best for our patients. From groundbreaking cancer research to state-of-the-art heart surgery, life-saving innovations happen here every day. When it's time to travel for your health, it's time to travel to Cleveland Clinic. Your destination for care, for every care in the world. To learn more, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express. Or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
Make your house a home, stop by the furniture store that's giving you more. With appliances, furniture, and
Furniture, we make it worthwhile, giving you quality, comfort, and style. Robert's Furniture.
Better say Lampkin. Besides carrying all the roofing material needed to cover East End, Enterprises also has all the equipment needed to put it together and to protect your workers. At Enterprises, we got hand tools, power and manual, including hacksaws, hammers, mauls, wrecking bars, well, hopefully they won't need them yet, drill bits, tapes, plumb bobs, levels, and more. We got cement, concrete bond and fiber, lime, sand, and P-rock. We got dust masks, safety glasses, gloves, hard hats, and high visibility vests. Lampkin, what we got here at Enterprises is a one-stop shop for builders.
I am joyriding.
CIBC Caribbean is giving 3 lucky clients the chance to win cash prizes this Christmas. Finance your vehicle with us for your chance to win, and we'll gift you no loan application fee, up to 100% financing, and up to 10 years to repay. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joyofgiving and apply for vehicle financing now. Terms and conditions apply.
It is time for your final look at weather for the morning, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. We've got a relatively uneventful weather pattern settling in. For now, things will likely change by the end of the week when a cold front moves through. We still have some issues for the southeast Bahamas, though, and there remains a risk of excessive flooding over portions of those islands, especially in areas already inundated with rain events. Beachgoers and are advised to exercise caution due to the high risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposures in the central and southeast Bahamas. For today, relatively calm, pleasant conditions for the northern and northwest Bahamas, sunny, turning fair tonight. For the central islands, partly sunny today, turning mostly fair tonight. But for the southeast Bahamas, cloudy to occasionally overcast, with a 40 to 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs around 82, 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight into the low 60s, around 16 Celsius for the northern Bahamas. For the rest of us, in the upper 60s, maybe around 70 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. In your extended outlook, for Thursday, partly sunny to sunny across most areas, turning cloudy in the southeast Bahamas. Pretty much the same for Friday. Saturday, as that front moves through, partly sunny with occasional cloudy periods for the northern and northwest Bahamas. And by Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds with occasional cloudy periods in the northern and northwest Bahamas due to the front. Monday, partly to occasionally cloudy. The tropics are quiet in these final few days of the Atlantic hurricane season. Tropical cyclone 5 days. That's your morning blend weather check. Brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. And your final look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. A reminder of the paving work that is set for Bay Street between East Street and Christie Street. You want to avoid that area if you can as you prepare for the paving. That mainly is going to be taking place at night, and even in the daytime is not a pleasant ride as of yesterday. So perhaps that's causing some of the issues we're seeing right now in downtown Nassau and West Bay Street especially. Traffic is backed up quite a bit from Nassau Street all the way to Saunders Beach if you're heading eastbound. You definitely want to avoid that area if you have to be somewhere for 9 o'clock. And downtown looking busy for you on Shirley Street into Duke Street, heavy westbound traffic. Blue Hill Road into Cumberland Street. I'm not sure what's going on. I think there is a protest this morning. Perhaps that is part of it. And of course, the House is meeting. So keep that in mind. If you don't need to be around there, don't be there. East Street seeing some busy, heavy traffic as well. Northbound this morning, heading into downtown. Then we've got Blue Hill Road. You're not moving if you're near Carmichael, heading northbound towards Independence Drive. Just a mess in that area. Independence Drive is backed up as well, westbound. Tawny Williams Darling Highway, both directions. From Blue Hill Road to almost Bahamas Games Boulevard. Heavy traffic both directions there. Marla Butler Highway still seeing heavy traffic north of the Fire Trail roundabout if you're heading northbound. Though Glasner is looking manageable this morning. Elsewhere, we still have Eastern Road with heavy westbound traffic just east of Fox Hill to almost Village Road and Shirley Street. And north and south of the intersection with Prince Charles and Robinson Road, Soldier Road is going to be looking busy for you, and Robinson into Marathon, heavy traffic there. Good luck this morning. You're definitely going to need it. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
That my Lord has kept me. Yes, it is just another day that I've made.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards, and changing gears. As we said, we're going to get back to those heavy issues a little bit later in the show. But right now, some good news. Big celebration planned for St. Barnabas. They're celebrating their 95th anniversary, and they've got their fair and raffle this Saturday. Here to tell us all about this, we're very pleased to have with us Tameka Burton and Clifford Johnson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Let's get your mics up there. And Tameka, I need you to turn your mic down a little bit so we can talk right into there. There we go. All right. Great to have you all with us. All right. So 95 years. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Tell us a little bit about this before we get into the fair and the raffle.
Right. As you know, St. Barnabas is situated on the corner of Blue Hill Road and Wulff Road.
You don't say blue?
No. The foundation stone for the church was laid in May of 1929. Wow. And the dedication service, the first dedication service, was held in June of that year. And the church has existed in that location ever since. To say a little bit more, I'll ask Tameka to say a little bit more about the history of the church.
Okay. And so just to continue from Clifford, when the church started in May of 1929, it joined 16 congregations. And at the time, we would have had St. Anne, St. Margaret, St. Mary the Virgin, St. Agnes, of course, St. James, St. Margaret. And it started
I didn't
very...
hear you say St. Matthew.
St. Matthews,
Okay.
of course, St. Matthews. My apologies. And it started with a very small congregation, just 8 members, 6 women and 2 males. Their name was Ethel Cumberbatch, Melinda Curry, Dolores Forbes. We had Pauline Higgs, Mary Lattimore, Brett Smith, Della Wilson, and Thaddeus Wilson.
That's interesting. It's such a small congregation. To start with such a small congregation, do you know why it started? What was it the location, or what was the reason behind that?
Well, the church started out of the expanded population.
Okay.
And so it started small, coming out of St. Agnes of Blue Hill. And the persons who primarily had depended on St. Agnes for their place of worship.
Okay.
And so there was a need to expand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I can imagine it grew kind of quickly.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, of course.
Wow.
And like Clifford said, we've been there now for 95 years.
And what's the size of the congregation today? What are we looking at?
Well, I would say it's somewhere in the area of 1,000.
Okay.
But we don't have records that allow us to say whether that's on a typical Sunday we're going to have that members that number.
Yeah.
But I think on the register of the church we have somewhere in the area of 1,000.
Okay.
And what you would find is that as part of the churches, and because out of St. Barnabas was born Christ the King, and some of the other churches, and as we were spawned out of St. Agnes, as the population moved south on the island, obviously that happened.
Absolutely. All right. So how long have you been doing the fair and the raffle?
I believe it's at least to my recollection, it probably started maybe 20 years after the church started. And it used to be an annual event. In the last decade or so, it's probably been 2.
Okay.
I remember the last one we had was 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And that's, I think, a result of activities, competing activities. But I would foreshadow to say that in 5 years' time, it's very likely we'll have another, because then we'll be celebrating our centenary.
Oh, yes, of course.
And so that'll be a big celebration. And in fact, this event is a precursor to that one. We are building in that respect.
So no plans yet to make this an annual event?
Well, it used to be an annual event.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. In the last decade, we went from an annual event to something on a more less frequent basis. And that's why the last fair and raffle we had was in 1999. Sorry, 2019.
So you keep it at the big ones.
Organizing a fair and a raffle requires a lot of effort.
Yeah. Well, especially on the scale of this one, these are some a lot going on and some big time entertainment. This is concert level type stuff. Let's talk about that and what we can expect with the fair, and then we'll get to the raffle.
Right. Well, yes. One of the things that we did in celebrating our 95th anniversary is we held a night of heavenly music earlier. And we were overly enthused by the response that we got, not only by parishioners and members of the public, but by who were willing to come out and share 1 or 2 songs with us. And so since then, and as we were organizing the fair, we reached out to the community, and so we do have something that's quite significant. And Tameka, you want to talk a little bit more about that?
So the entertainment is scheduled all throughout the day, Dwight. All throughout the day. The gates open promptly at 11, and we're asking everyone to come on down and expect to be entertained and be fed. So we're going to start our gospel concert at 2. We have our opening ceremony. Our official opening ceremony will start at 3. But let's go back to the gospel concert, because we have artists such as DJ Godson, Olean Descartes, Thompson Maxwell, Sean Thompson, Aaliyah Coley are some of the names. We have the Police Pop Band that expected to be there at about 4. We have some Bahamian Showcase, which starting at about 6. We have Wendy, who will be there. Julian Believe, that will be there. I mean, we're pulling all the stops. All the stops. We even have not just one rush out. We have 2. Two of the biggest names. 2 of the biggest. We're going to have Saxon start our opening off. And then Valley will close us out.
So, I have to ask the question. Which Valley Boys? There's no.
We can't say.
You can't say. Okay. All right. But one of them. This is big. This is wild. Okay, so you are very serious about this.
Yes.
And again, the time that the entertainment starts at 2.
Yes.
Okay, so what else besides all of that can we expect at the fair?
So we have quite a number of stalls set up, and Mr. Johnson, you want to take that over, Clifford?
Yeah, we'll have the typical stalls that one expects. We've got beers and mixed drinks, we've got wines, we've got cakes and pastries, conch fritters, conch salad even. We've got fun foods. We've got jerk chicken and pork and roast corn. We will have a lounge with some breadfruit. Rotis and guava duff. And interestingly enough, we also have some. So it'll be interesting to see how that sells.
Wow.
So we will have an array of food and other things for patrons to buy.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent.
and so we planned with this fair to be able to attract every palate. So whether you're the traditional meals, they will be there, of course, the chicken and fries, whether it's the peas and rice, crab and rice, the stew mutton, whether you're into that or whether you have the more delicate palate. And as Clifford would have mentioned, the sushi or the roti.
Okay.
And we have all those persons who have that sweet tooth. Every phantom you can think of in terms of sweet goodies will be there on display.
All right. So there's also the raffle.
Yes.
And you've got some great prizes with that. Tell us about that.
Fabulous prizes. So we have 19 prizes in total, but I don't want to overdo it. I just want to press on just some key ones.
Okay.
Let me mention, we will have the $300 gas voucher, $300 John Bull gift certificate, Christmas come early, $300 laundry service. We have 4 car tires that we're giving out. And Dwight, I don't know about you, but I could deal with those 4 tires
I need
right
5
about.
right now.
We also have a $500 BPL voucher. Very useful. $600 gift certificate, super value, and those super value prices, today, that $600 coming right in hand.
Very much so.
We have quite a number of travel prizes, and then our big grand prize is the 2024 Kia Sonet. That's a brand new, out of the plastic vehicle.
Okay. So how do you get the raffle tickets? How much are they?
They're $10. And they can reach out to the church directly. Our officers are around town, primarily frequenting the Harbor Bay food store, super value food stores. We're everywhere. But if anyone can reach out to the
booths
church.
out there?
Yes.
We aren't playing at all.
Yeah, we have been manning booths at Harbor Bay Plaza for the last couple of weeks. We've been at Super Value at Cable Beach. We
Home
currently
Center.
have a booth at the junction of University Commons and University Boulevard.
Okay.
In front of the Reef Restaurant, and that's where the automobile is on display as well. And that's a highly trafficked area, and so if you're truly interested, you can stop by and purchase a ticket.
Okay, the churches are showing people how to do things. Well, it's very impressive. Very impressive. All right, so again, Saturday, it starts at what time?
At 11 a.m.
11.
And it goes until 9 p.m.
All right, and where is it going to be exactly, right? You're blocking off the street? Or
Yes, in fact, we are going to close Father Callan Road at the junction with Bellew Hill Road, and there will be limited access to Father Callan Road from Market Street. So the fair and the stalls are going to be on the church's grounds and other properties that we own on Father.
This Saturday,
the 30th of November, starting at 11 a.m.
Get your raffle tickets now and show up on Saturday.
That's definitely. Show up on Saturday to partake of the various goodies that are going to be at the fair.
And before we go, Dwight, I do want to mention bingo. Bingo is also going to be a hot seller for us, and that starts tentatively now. It's settled for 4.
Okay.
Because of all the fabulous prizes, we may have to start that a bit early just to ensure that we get rid of all of them.
Prizes for the bingo, too.
Yes.
Wow, okay. It's a
Just
big
want
day.
to put a plug in for some of the community projects that the church has.
Really quick, we've got about 15 seconds.
Okay, the Boys Brigade, 23rd Company Boys Brigade, led by Mr. Henry Curry. We've got a food ladder at the church where persons in the community often stop by seeking food. We've got the Take 10 program that we've had for decades that we're restarting again, helping young children in the community. And we've got Tuesday Mass that we serve lunch at free of charge.
Excellent. Great stuff.
And the last, but one of the most famous, is the Della and Stanley Wilson Preschool.
That's right.
Serving the community.
Wonderful stuff. Keep up the great work. Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sure the fair and the raffle are going to be a great success. Thank you for being here this morning, Tameka Burton and Clifford Johnson.
Thank you for having us.
And Dwight, have you got your ticket?
We're going to talk out during the break. I know our producer wants about, you said 5? You getting 5 raffle tickets? Yeah? Okay. We're going to
Excellent.
We're going to be back after the news, folks. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Thank you.
Play it again.
Investment opportunity that you've been waiting for has finally arrived. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond. And as of Thursday, November the 21st, all Bahamians, for as little as $100, can begin to save for their future. The investment rates are fixed and guaranteed with terms for 1 to 6 years, so you can't lose. Mark it down. Thursday, November the 21st. Get your Bahamas Government Savings Bonds. Check out the Central Bank of the Bahamas website for more details.
This October, Dunkin' Donuts is brewing more than just coffee. We're brewing strength because we're stronger together. Donate at any Dunkin' location to support breast cancer awareness, and we'll match every dollar you give. Together, we're making a real difference for the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group. Sip, smile, support. When we stand together, we're stronger together because the Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Experience the immediate care you deserve at Doctors Hospital Urgent Care. When emergency strikes, trust our expert physicians for fast, quality care. With extended hours and cutting-edge medical technology, we're always ready to serve you. Don't wait or take risks with your health. Visit our urgent care suite at Doctors Hospital West on Blake Road for immediate, trusted, and best care.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is the Guardian News Network update on the hour. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Ferguson. A senior police officer is among a number of Bahamians and 2 Colombians charged in the United States with conspiracy to import cocaine into the U.S. According to an indictment unsealed yesterday, Chief Superintendent Elvis Curtis is also facing firearms possession and firearms conspiracy charges. Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez, in a statement on the issue last evening, said Curtis, who heads the airport division, and his alleged co-conspirator, Defense Force Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker, were arrested in Florida yesterday. He said another indicted co-conspirator, Police Sergeant Prince Simonet, who works with Curtis, was immediately suspended from duty. That indictment claims that corruption among high-ranking members of the Bahamian police force and other Bahamian government officials directly contributed to the increase in cocaine flow through the Bahamas and into the United States since 2021. Prime Minister Philip Davis is expected to speak to this latest controversy involving the police force when the House of Assembly meets this morning. Well, police now know how 72-year-old Venetia Butler was murdered. Chief Superintendent of Police Chrislyn Skippings last evening made public the
cause of death has been determined as asphyxia due to strangulation. I also wish to confirm that the victim was sexually assaulted and found with internal injuries.
Butler was killed in her Gibbs Corner apartment Saturday morning. Her alleged attacker was apprehended at the scene. Her gruesome death and that of 12-year-old Adrielle Moxie have Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard making clear his party supports resuming capital punishment. He says if elected to government, they will work with the judiciary and legal community to define the worst of the worst cases and act on existing law.
And so we are very clear. This is a straightforward issue for us. The capital punishment is on our books, but we do say clearly and simply, we support capital punishment for the role it can play as a deterrent as well as punishment.
There has not been an execution in this country since January of 2000. That's what's making headlines at this hour. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I'm Rita Foley with an AP News Minute. We'll begin with the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah, the militant group in Lebanon. The AP's Charles de Ledesma.
A Hezbollah group took effect early Wednesday morning. The ceasefire brought relief across the Mediterranean nation, coming after days of some of the most intense airstrikes and clashes since the war began, though many in the region wonder if the agreement to stop fighting would hold. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Thanksgiving is the busiest travel holiday, says the AAA. They think travel will break records this year. The economy expanded at a healthy 2.8% annual pace from July through September. Strong consumer spending and a surge in exports, says Washington. The leaders of Kamala Harris's presidential campaign are talking about why she didn't win. They say they just didn't have enough time to get a winning strategy together after President Biden stepped aside. They spoke on a podcast. I'm Rita Foley.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinion of guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to a special edition of Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And we continue to talk about the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. It is day 3 today, and we're very pleased to have with us a group that is at the forefront of this mission to spread the word about the Zonta Club of Nassau. We have Renisha Smith and Michelle Forbes, and they've brought along from Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Ricardo DeVoe. Good morning, everybody. Great to have you all with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, so Ricardo will get to you a little bit later. But let's talk about it. We were talking about this yesterday on the show, 16 Days of Activism, and we know Zonta's been playing a major role with this as well. Let's talk about that, Michelle, why Zonta has taken up the mantle on this.
Oh, yes. It was launched in 2012 by Zonta International, and it's our efforts to raise more awareness globally on the pandemic of women's rights violations. And we united the Zonta clubs worldwide to have an impact on the actions of fighting violence against women, boys, girls, and gender inequality. 16 Days of Activism, as you said, started on the 25th and it ends December 10th. That's an opportunity to educate the public, raise awareness, and show them the importance of healthy relationships. Yeah. That's the key, because we in these toxic relationships that causes problems.
Absolutely.
And things escalate.
Yeah.
So we need to spread that word.
And it's come at such an unusual time this year for the Bahamas after what we saw last week. This is spanning all age groups, children and elderly folks being impacted by this. Renisha, you've been here before telling your story. Mm-hmm. What did you think after what happened last week? And we know it's probably a daily occurrence here. Maybe it doesn't end in murder, but we know people are really going through it.
Correct.
Get a little closer to the mic for us,
Correct.
please.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, everyone. So just my initial thoughts were, are we doing enough? That was my initial thought. And then my thought after that was, we will continue to push. And that's all we can do at this time. And we implore civil society or like-minded persons who are interested in the cause being just trying to eradicate violence in all forms. So that's men, girls, women, and boys. And so that's what we're here today, and that's what we really want to push and talk about.
Yeah. So we're going to get into the what you all are doing in a bit, but you brought along a man for a specific reason.
Yes, we did.
Tell us about that, and then we'll talk to Ricardo.
Yes, in sharing and talking with persons in the community, we see the need for our young men to have male mentors to show them the way they should conduct themselves, that there's hope. We need to see more male leaders. Mm-hmm. We as women, we're thriving. We have our young girls who are flourishing, but where are the men? Where are the boys? We need our men to train our boys. Yes, women can do it, but we need leaders to take their stand in the country and to help raise and steer them in the right direction. So we have Mr. DeVoe right here to show how they're doing their part.
Mm-hmm. Ricardo, again, you're representing Alpha Phi Alpha.
I'm representing Alpha Phi Alpha today.
And one of the things that we are pleased to partner here with Zonta today is to let them know that, yes, there are men out there doing their part. I say that because Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity has a mentorship program at Sandilands Primary School where we have about 30 to 50 boys that come out to our sessions. And our last month's session was on conflict resolution.
Wow. So timely.
Yes. And so for us, it's about helping to build a better community. Now, in my other hat, I'm at the Ministry of Education, and so I know that for us, we are looking for organizations to partner to create better environments for our students, especially our boys. And so I guess I'm just happy that the fraternity has been able to say, well, yes, I am going to assist in making this community better.
Yeah. So going back to a point Renisha made, are we doing enough? Because we remember the study from UB a few years ago, talking to young people who felt it was normal to discipline, physically discipline somebody you're in a relationship with. This seems to be ingrained in us. This is a part of, people will actually believe that this is how you express love, in quotation marks, right? We've got a long way to reverse that mentality.
Yes.
What can we do?
So the first thing we can do is educate ourselves. And in educating ourselves, this is why we have the Zonta clubs in the Bahamas that speaks about all of these different violence and what it means. For example, we have our Z clubs in some of our government and junior and senior high schools, government and private. And in those clubs, we talk about things like healthy relationships. What does that mean? What are the signs that you are in an unhealthy relationship? And we will continue with other civic organizations to just spread the word.
Yeah. All right. So you've got a lot of activities planned.
Yes.
Just to piggyback on what Renisha said, we saw the amount of violence happening in school this past year and past years. And so what we did was we expanded because we were only at Aquinas and St. John's. So we saw the need, especially to spread more in the government schools. So just this year, we expanded to 4 new Z clubs. So we're now at D.W. Davis, A.F. Adley, Queens College, and Anatole Rogers.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
On behalf of the Minister of Education, thank you very much.
You're here to help.
With the addition of our club at Golden Z at UB.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have one there too.
So we've talked about it before with Zonta International. You've expanded from just women to men as well.
Yes.
Are you seeing that here in the Bahamas as yet? Any male members?
We actually have a few past presidents of our University of the Bahamas Golden Z Club.
Okay.
And we also have past presidents at Aquinas as well. So we have our males involved as well in Zonta.
What difference do you think that's going to make?
You're going to have a more balanced view from a male perspective. So we can probably work together, bring more awareness. So it's better together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. All right. So let's talk about what you're going to be doing. You've already started with some of your activities.
Yes, we
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've started, we kicked off on the 25th. That's the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. On Saturday, as I said, we will have our Healthy Relationships webinar, and that is at Queens College. So that is for our Golden Z and Z clubs. Additionally, we have, just before I go any further, we have a TikTok and poster competition. So those competitions are for elementary through college. So the poster competition is elementary through high school, and TikTok is elementary through college. So please go on our Facebook page, Zonta Club of Nassau. You will see the entry requirements. The entry deadline, though, is December 6th.
Yeah.
So December 6th at 11:59. Anything after that, you are disqualified. So please send it in.
Okay.
Go ahead and send that in to Zonta Club of Nassau at hotmail.com.
I just want to let you know that I have been also promoting through my network of primary schools, through our primary school organizations, and the Ministry of Education, trying to get support for that.
We appreciate your
Wonderful,
support.
wonderful.
Yes.
Renisha, Michelle, listen to this, Michelle. He's being shy. Chester, say what you have to say.
I wasn't trying to say it.
You need to say it. This is important.
So me and Paul Turnquist, actually my best friend, were the first male members of Golden Z at the College of the Bahamas then.
Yay.
You think you should just be sitting on that?
I need you to come on.
That is very important information.
Yes.
Anyway, okay. You just had to get that in there. Okay. All right.
All right, so let me go quickly. December 5th, as I said, is a long day for us. We have our Healthy Relationships Look. So let's overcome obstacles with knowledge. And that is a free webinar. It's on Zoom. So again, go to our Facebook page, Zonta Club of Nassau, scan the QR code, because there may be helpful information there for you. You may not be going through sexual or domestic abuse, but you may know someone, and there can be tips there. Additionally, the Best of the Best Regatta kicks off on Friday, December 5th, and that runs through the 8th.
What's that got to do with you all?
They
public awareness.
Oh, okay.
They have partnered with us for a second year.
Okay.
So you will see orange bows all over Montague foreshore. And we will be there on Saturday, December 7th. So we will pass out information, pamphlets about Zonta Club of Nassau and what healthy relationships is.
I think I did see that last year. I thought it was just the regatta.
partner.
No, it was you
Yes.
all. Okay. all
Yes,
right.
it was us. December 6th again is our deadline for the post and TikTok competition. Please send those in. Also, December 6th is
Tell us a little more about that. I mean, how does that work? Who can take part in that?
the elementary students, so that's primary to college. So the TikTok is primary to college, and the poster is primary to secondary.
Okay. What are the prizes?
We have tablets, laptops, phones. Listen, there are some great prizes. You have to enter in order to earn your spot.
Adults can't take part in this?
Not at this time. Not at this time.
Just to add the bonus. Whoever wins, their school can also win a laptop and a printer.
Oh,
So
yes.
that's a bonus.
That's wonderful.
That's a big bonus. Because I know our schools also need equipment.
December 6th, that's Friday, December 6th, 11:59 p.m.
And again, the theme for this?
The theme is Healthy Relationships Look. Let's overcome obstacles with knowledge.
So you want a poster or TikTok
Poster or
reflecting
TikTok.
that?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
a cool challenge.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Also, December 6th, that night, we will have our Celebrating Survivors workshop or party, if you want to call it that. And we will celebrate about maybe 10 survivors who have suffered, rather, from domestic and sexual violence. So we just want to honor them, let them know that it is a safe space, let them know that someone is here and that we do care. Additionally, December 10th, we will conclude our 16 days of activism. And December 10th is also a significant day. It is Human Rights Day. So we will announce our TikTok and poster competition winners, and that's at 6 p.m. at the Harry Seymour Auditorium. So again, if you want to win it, you got to be in it.
Okay.
Send in those TikToks, send in those posters.
How do they send them in? What do they-
Zonta Club of Nassau at hotmail.com.
Okay. That's some good stuff. Is there a way you can see all the events? You have that on your social media?
Yes, you can see that on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes. So ZONTA, Club of Nassau.
All right. So what else do you want people to keep in mind? Again, especially in light of the tragedies we saw last week, what else can we do, and men as well, and there are men who are saying they're victims of violence also?
Well, Dwight, I think first of all, because I'm a girl dad, I have two daughters, and what I do is I ensure that I treat them like how I know that they need to be treated, and so that they would not accept foolishness from any spitty mouth boy out there.
Agreed.
Mike taught me how to treat a woman. I'm treating my girls. I'm showing them how I treat their mother and how I treat them.
Right.
So don't go out there and accept less what your dad is doing.
Wow.
I'm a good girl dad.
Powerful.
Yes, and sometimes as women, we take advantage of our men. We know that a disciplined man is not going to hit you. They learn to restrain themselves. Sometimes we antagonize men. We get up in their face and do things, so we treat them. No, that is wrong. We as women should be respectful. We don't need to use our hands. We need to be wise in what we say, conflict resolution skills, respect each other. Don't flaunt yourself because, men shouldn't hit women, but men are humans too. They have limits. So let's respect each other. Let's watch our words. Soft word turns away wrath. Let's remember that. Kind words, soft words. Don't get caught up in the moment. Sometimes we have to step back and say, you know what? Let's try work this out in the best way possible. So please, let's guard our tongues and our actions, and let's look out for each other. Let's overcome obstacles through knowledge.
Absolutely. Wow, well said. If you want to call in, give us a call, 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Before we get to that call, this text here. Okay. Concerning that they want to protect children, I have yet to hear them send a clarion call to mothers to not abuse, neglect, abandon, or even use their kids to receive money. Are they educating mothers to be outstanding women as well? I think you kind of touched on that just now,
Yes.
Michelle. She mentioned educating men, but not the mothers to help protect their young ones. I mean, that's for everybody, I believe.
Webinar on December 5th, and so that's an opportunity where you can join in and you can hear various guests speak to that. And also, that's why we're here on the radio today, and that's why we're going to be in the public space to create more awareness, to let persons know that it's not right for anyone in any way, shape, or form to violate anyone. Yeah. So we're here right now, and we're going to continue to do it. If we can do it throughout the year, we will. And we're going to raise a clarion call to say no to violence, whether it's against men, women, boys, or girls. No is no.
Absolutely.
I'm just on that with dealing with parents. I'm putting on my other hat now, the Ministry of Education. And Ministry of Education, we have one of our units dealing with having seminars for parents. So our department, which is headed by Mr. Dwayne Higgins, and they are actually working on that. We have actually had a few sessions with parents already. So I'm telling you, the Ministry of Education is doing its part.
Yeah. Can we make them mandatory for everyone?
Yes.
All
Yes.
people?
That's needed. Agreed.
Can we get our lawmakers to consider that? Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Chester, and good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
You know, I'm sitting listening. There was this thing that I said when I used to go to PTA and when my kids was starting from primary school. I said to every PTA, the persons who need to hear this are the ones who are not going to be there, and they're not going to hear it. My question is the thing that you guys have on, you say junior school and secondary school. I think you're starting too late. These kids start off with these violence and these mentality from primary school. I think you guys would need to start. You see, train up a child in the way they should grow, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. I think you're starting too late. You're missing some kids.
There are organizations that are working in the primary schools. I know in terms of, as I said, the fraternities we have in the primary schools. I have, like I said, Alpha Phi Alpha. We are at Sandilands Primary School. There are another a man group that's at Sandilands also. We also have one of the lodges there in primary schools doing working with young men. So, I mean, there are persons. See, the thing about it is sometimes a lot of organizations out there doing work, we may not hear about it because a lot of organizations are doing it. And I mean, not to say that they want the whole world to know, but persons out there doing their part. They are.
Because I was about to say that sound like 2 or 3 sets of persons in one primary school.
No, I mean,
how much primary school we have spread across this?
I think there are programs.
There are programs, and I can tell you, I'm from the Ministry of Education. I can tell you there are organizations in our primary schools working.
Yeah, the challenge is getting some of the parents to recognize that children need to be in these programs and allowing them to do it.
That is the case. I mean, because I know, like for us, we open up our programs on Saturday mornings. We have some students who are regular. Right. They can't wait for Saturday morning to get to our mentorship programs.
See, okay, so this, all right, I understand that. But look at me. I'm a parent. I'm an Adventist. My kids are going to come to me on Saturday morning. We have to be in church. What about that set of parents? What about that set of kids?
Well,
a lot of things we do in this country, we do on Saturday. A lot of Adventists in this country.
Well, I would hope
we are left out of a lot of things.
Folks like you are taking your children to church. So
Yes,
right,
we are.
and that would counter a lot of the issues we're having.
You have your organization too that will be able to cater to.
Yes, we do have, but I would like to see it, especially from the Ministry of Education side of it, be spread out across evenly. If you do programs on Saturday, then do another program on Sunday or on a holiday or whatever to make it fair across the board. Because what you may be offering may not be what we are offering. You understand me?
Well, that's why you need to talk to your church to make sure that there are programs on Sundays for people who have...
We have stuff that we do with the kids. For one, the Pathfinders, the kids are very disciplined in that. And we start from very young. Because like me, we noticed that you can't wait for them to hit junior school or senior school. Then, in my view, it's too late.
But just to add, that's why it's important for us in the community where we see a need that we volunteer and find others who have that mindset. So if you could find persons in your group who are interested in partnering, we can see if we can work with you. And so we could put a program together so we could help eradicate violence and reach our young ones. But just to step back, pre-COVID, the Zonda Club of Nassau has been very instrumental with the Aubrey Sale School. We had a reading program, and we also assisted those students, those challenging students as well, that we would have mentored and speak with. So it's just finding the volunteers, because a lot of people talk, but there's no action. So we need more Bahamians to come forward and assist with their efforts to help mentor the next generation. That's the key. Having the persons who have the passion to help make an impact to the next generation. That's the key.
Yeah, and we know how it works around here. The kid will come home and say, hey, there's this program, and the parents will say, I don't have time for this, we don't have the money for you to join this, or some excuse. And there's tons of help out there, but people aren't willing to receive it. Let's take this final call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your guest.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing well.
Okay, and the gentleman, I didn't get his name, he say he's where for education too?
Yes, Ricardo DeVoe.
Okay. I want to say something what you say about the spitty mode guys out there, but with the education thing, I listened to Dwight News this morning, Guardian News, and it was saying something. I think they call it ROS or something. Something what the government promised to do in these primary schools to help out. Are you aware what what I talking about? ROS?
SRO, School Resource Officer.
Yeah, did that really start yet? And how far are we with that? I mean, I was wondering. I'm not aware that it's in my children's school.
SROs are in all of our high schools and junior schools, and they are now being implemented in the primary schools.
When you say that, right, sir, I hear what you said, but what that really mean? It doing or it started all the schools here?
They're not in all of the schools, but they're starting.
Okay.
Yeah. They have been in all of our senior high schools.
Yes, I heard you. And junior high. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing in the reach of the primary school. Like people, as we said, we got to catch them. If we don't catch them in our homes, and maybe they don't have the right parents to give them or treat them, do them what they need. I mean, treat them, train. Then we got to try to catch them in the primary school. When you say you tell your daughters, but I get daughters too, and I tell them about them spitty mode guys. But time changed so much, I got to also tell them about them spitty mode girls. But the spitty mode boys and all. That's how time changed. Y'all keep up the good work.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, boy. And so the SROs, we had good news in the paper today about it, right? So public school violence has dropped by 17%.
We are really, really grateful for the program and the partnership. And as we would all know, the Minister of Education, the Honorable Glennis Hannah Martin, is very, very passionate about what should happen in schools. And that program took off in 2021 when, at that time, he's now Assistant Commissioner of Police, Dr. Hanna. He brought the idea of reintroducing the police. And I can tell you, my minister was not excited about that, but she saw the benefit, and we are now. It was implemented in our senior high schools and junior schools, but we realized that we needed to go down to our primary school, and that's why we are now implementing that in the.
Michelle, you talked about it. We just need to learn how to talk to people better, to be calmer. Ricardo, I don't know if you can get in on this, but what are we doing? Because the temperature is high out there. Any little thing will set people off. And I mean, first thing in the morning, you're going to hear some 200-pound words if you even blow your horn at somebody. But what can be done about this? Anybody could jump in on that one.
I'd say there are there are a lot of organizations out there that are doing. We have the Anglican Diocese. I think that's run by Reverend Angel Palacios. We have, again, the Zonta Club of Nassau. We have other organizations that are church organizations that are also. So I would say to just find one, volunteer, because that is key. All of the clubs cannot run without volunteers. The Bahamas Crisis Center, that is also volunteers only.
Absolutely.
You know, and they help with they help with mental health. They have after school programs. So there's a lot that's being done. Again, we can only do this work if we have the volunteers and if we have the help.
I think also, Dwight, I think we live in a time when everyone is so hype.
Yeah.
And so it's said you're on the street, and if you don't move as soon as the light turns green, they're blowing, they're angry. And I think we really need to find a way to really encourage people to live better, to bring down that stress level.
Yeah.
Because I think we are creating, I think, bad situations.
Yeah. You can feel it. You can feel it when you're outside. Something is heavy and wrong in the air.
Yeah, I think too it's a lot of unresolved issues, especially from childhood. And this is where mental health is very important.
Yeah.
You know, gone are the days where if you tell someone I'm going to speak to my therapist, they look at you like you're crazy. But now mental health, it's out there. Persons are now taking the time to actually speak to therapists, and they have to resolve a lot of issues, and I think it starts from young. And this is why we are trying to target the primary, the junior, the high school.
So can you imagine getting into an interpersonal relationship with somebody dealing with all of that?
Yeah. Correct.
It is going to be likely just a catastrophic situation.
Yes.
One final call. Let me get running out of time. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your guests.
Hi.
They're doing a great work, and I applaud them fully. I think what needs to happen, in my suggestion, is a volunteerism program, complete volunteerism program by everyone, all across generations, giving of our time and our efforts to help this work, because it can't be political or it can't be just by one agency. Everyone has to do a part. Everyone has a part to play as we build this better, stronger Bahamas. We have to do our work. We have to be moved to action. And I strongly suggest that a volunteerism program, more or less, you have public and private involvement, and there may be some credits can be applied to companies who allow their staff to participate, but intentional, focused work. I applaud you, especially Ricardo. This is Jackie Popel, Downtown. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Points would be nice, but if you just want the country to be better, join something like Zonta, Club of Nassau, or the fraternities. Everybody's, right, not necessarily looking for anything but to see a better community.
Correct.
Right? I mean, but whatever it takes, though. Yeah. Whatever it takes to get things moving in the right direction.
I think, Dwight, our people out there, they have to know, we talk about how can we do it? One person at a time.
Agreed.
One person at a time. I mean, and so you may not be able to volunteer but if you know that, hey, I am available, you can find out from a school, can I go in and speak with some of the young persons on a lunchtime? Maybe even there's some students who don't have lunch and share lunch. Right. I mean, it starts small. Yeah. And every one of us can make a difference.
Yeah. So really quickly, remind folks about what's going to be happening over the next few days. We're down to, 14, 13 now, but there's a lot going on, and how they can get more information about all of these activities.
Okay. So firstly, the TikTok and poster competition, please send those in. Zonta Club of Nassau at hotmail.com. December 5th is our webinar. You are in the comfort of your own home. It's on Zoom. You can go and scan the QR code, and that starts at 6 p.m. Please tune in. There is there. Best of the best regarded, December 5th through 8th. If you see those orange bows, that is significant to the elimination of violence, gender-based violence. December 6th is the deadline for the poster and TikTok competition. Again, Zonta Club of Nassau at hotmail.com. Send those in. December 6th is our Celebrating Survivors. That is a closed space, but please, if you want to make donations, please send in an email to zontaclubofnassau@hotmail.com, and we can pick those up. Also, December 7th, we will be passing literature at the Best of the Best Regatta. And December 10th is our announcement of a TikTok and competition winners.
Mm-hmm. Should we be wearing, all of you wearing orange?
Yes.
Should we be wearing orange any particular days?
Well, today, was Orange
Today
Day.
is Orange
Today
Day.
was Orange Day. I missed
Any
the
day
memo,
you can
but
wear orange.
Yes.
okay.
Any day.
From now to December 10th, you
Okay.
can wear your orange.
Good stuff. All right. Thank you so much for being here, Michelle Forbes, Renisha Smith with Zonda Club of Nassau, and Ricardo DeVoe with Alpha Alpha today. Thank you very much.
Thank
Keep up
you.
the great work that you're doing.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break and be back with the final 3 minutes of Morning Blend Business here.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express. Or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
Are you a Bahamian with property on one of our 16 island destinations? Well, the Tourism Development Corporation, in partnership with Bahamas Development Bank, is officially launching our Home Sweet Home Incentive. Join the vacation market by transforming your properties into vacation rentals. Earn up to $10,000 or more in funding and start building today. Register at tdcbahamas.com. from October 7th to November 18th. What are you waiting on? Build your vacation home today.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good.
Are you dreaming of an EV? Now is the time. Easy Car Sales is offering unbelievable deals on 2024 models with end-of-year discounts. Plus, quick and simple in-house financing makes it easy for everyone to go electric. Take a test drive and experience the thrill today at EV City on Abundant Life or Gladstone Road. Step into a smarter, more affordable drive with Easy Car Sales, your trusted EV and warranty provider since 2016.
Thanksgiving has arrived early at Montague Motors. This whole month is Black November with deep discounts on selected models. Roll out this season in style. Montague Motors, trusted quality service for over 20 years. Zero down, everyone. Village Road near Shirley. 698-3950. 812-7576. Call Montague Motors now and get the best discounts the entire month of November.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. Products you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express. Or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The recently announced allocation of $124 million for the debt conversion project for marine conservation will not come at all at once and is contingent on certain criteria. That's according to Director of Climate Change and Environmental Advisory Unit, Rochelle Newbold. The Bahamas recently announced a $300 million debt conversion project to refinance external debt through partnerships with the Inter-American Development Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and the Nature Conservancy. This initiative aims to unlock $124 million in savings over 15 years, which will be redirected to fund climate-smart conservation plans, develop a national mangrove management strategy, and create a marine spatial plan. The project will also build capacity among government and non-governmental agencies, ensuring sustainable marine management and climate resilience. The Bahamas emphasize retaining ownership of resources and leveraging innovative financing solutions to address climate change impacts. Inflation rose when compared to July this year. That's going to the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, the BNSI. In a release on the Consumer Price Index for August, it said that the monthly inflation rate in the Bahamas, which represents the overall change in price for 2024, increased by 0.1% when compared to July. The increase reflected in the overall price of items purchased by the average consumer during the period. So the increase for August followed a 0.1% decrease between the months of June and July. The U.S. presidential election put a damper on tourism numbers leading up to Thanksgiving, but the election is now behind the tourism sector and the booking pace is picking up again. That's according to President of the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association, Robert Sandy Sands. Sands telling Guardian Business that the booking window is short, with hotels picking up rooms 2 to 3 days before arrival dates. Meanwhile, NAD, Nassau Airport Development Company, said that the Lynden Pindling International Airport is prepping for a busy Thanksgiving weekend. More details on this in today's Guardian Business section. A local grocery provider has grown from a $15,000 annual business to a high six-figure quarterly business through innovation forced on it by the COVID pandemic. Chief Executive Officer of Vine Tree Holdings, Brandon Burrows, the parent company of the newly opened Oasis Fresh store in the Lyford Commerce Park, says that the launch of his brick-and-mortar food store this past month is going well. Oasis is originally an online shopping concept for customers who wish to order groceries due to the COVID restrictions that limited face-to-face contact and other social distancing requirements. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday. Your market movers: AML Foods Limited moving 100,000 shares, closing at $5.75, up 10 cents. Cable Bahamas moving 2,900, down 2 cents, closing at $3.30. Commonwealth Bank moving 3,000, closing at $4.97, unchanged. CIBC moving 2,000, up 74 cents, closing at $14.50. Fidelity Bank moving 100, unchanged at $17.49. Consolidated Water down 5 cents, closing at $5.32. Emira Incorporated up 2 cents, closing at $9.20. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,928.87, up 0.79. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. We are in our final 3 minutes here of Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday morning. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And Chester, as we said, we are going to go to the Prime Minister when he speaks in the House. I want to hear his communication on these very disturbing developments regarding the police force and the defense force and these really serious acts about corruption in the country. which we all know is bad, but I don't know if we knew it was this bad. Or did we? We're just trying to, bury our heads in the sand? I'm not sure how to... Boy.
I mean, I think we just become complacent because we ourselves are never ever really able to get to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the depth that obviously an indictment like this would bring to light.
My goodness. Wow. Okay. So a couple things before we go. So earlier, the conversation you heard with Zonta Club of Nassau, our guest, this is from our usual texter there who has real issues when it comes to men versus women. And so he said he was deeply offended by the guest who referred to our young boys as spitty mouth. This is the text. Does he think that's appropriate to describe our young boys in this way? I'm deeply offended. He needs to apologize. If this is how he speaks, he is the issue. How dare you refer to an innocent child as spitty mouth? Sir, I really don't know what your problem is. And he certainly wasn't talking about all boys. He's talking about the boys who are trying to
spitty mouth ones.
The spitty mouth ones. Please stop. Please stop it. Stop it. Come on. We're going to have to... I mean, I don't want to block your number because you're going to get on some of our nerves here. But seriously, you know exactly who he's talking about. The people who have no issue getting your daughter who's 12 or 13 pregnant. Yeah, that's a spitty mouth boy. Come on. This text also says, is there such a thing as an anger hotline for people to call it? I need to know that number. Put that on speed. That should be the only number in my phone.
You give out the anger hotline every time you come on the show.
Maybe I need to answer it. This text, are we the... Yeah. Providence was historically the pirate capital of the West Indies. Was, is, and likely will forever be. By the way, before we go, have you ever seen this? This morning, I was behind an Amazon van. Have you seen that?
No, I have not seen that. And I have seen an Amazon van, but I'm
in Nassau.
Sure somebody bought that.
No, there's a brand new van, Amazon all over it, the big smiley thing with the A to Z.
Yeah?
It was. I'm like, this is a new day.
I did see somebody said DHL is doing deliveries.
It is, yeah, but no, but this wasn't a DHL van. This was an Amazon van. So, isn't that something? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Very interesting times.
It's a business move. I'm mad at nobody.
Nobody's mad. No consumers. Anyway, we got to go. We're going to go to news and stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green. When the Prime Minister is ready to speak, we will break to that to hear this. I'm sure everybody's waiting to hear that. But have a great day, everybody, and be safe out there and be sensible. Be sensible. Be sensible. Stay tuned.